Every single day I get asked the following question. What is the best path to making my first $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, even $50,000 a month online for someone who doesn't have great expertise, great experience when it comes to helping companies grow, but who wants to skip the commoditized route of selling services that no one wants to buy and instead wants to leverage the build and release model where they essentially build system once and implement it into different companies every single month to scale past their first 25K, 50K per month. And up until late last year, I couldn't really find an easy system that I could give someone that is easy to fulfill and implement into a business and that was also cheap to sell, or at least cheap to acquire clients, where it's cheap to acquire leads, cheap to acquire appointments and actually get these appointments to show up. But AI is here and it's changing everything. I decided late last year, around beginning of December, to host episode 2 of the Growth Creator series. I ended up getting people to pay for this presentation that you're about to see, to join me live, end up having a Q&A session, but I wanted to release this to the world because I believe that anyone who misses out on what I'm going to be sharing today, 2025 is going to be a rough year for you, right? We're a company that launches around 30 to 45 new clients a month. We launch their offers, we implement everything to be able to scale them online. And I can promise you that anyone who's not embracing what I'm about to cover today is having a harder time to essentially be able to acquire leads, get appointments and deals at a price that is a premium enough to be able to remove themselves from their operations. Okay, so I ended up doing the presentation December 29th. I literally did not have time off during the holidays. It was crazy because I believe that this is by far the most important asset presentation that I could create for my audience. But here's something. I'm not only just going to share the offer or the AI enabled infrastructure that we're currently building and releasing into companies, but I'm going to be doing something even more important. At the beginning of the presentation, I'm going to be laying out the roadmap to your first $1 million all the way to $10 million. As someone who made my first $10,000 a month in 2021, January of 2021, to making my first 30 grand, a few months later was making 100 grand a month, and then scaled to $600,000 a month, I can tell you this one thing. Even when you have a good solution, even when you know how to get leads, even when you know how to get appointments, even when you know how to sell and fulfill, you're still gonna get stuck if you don't understand how different vehicles, different business opportunities impact the scalability of your business, okay? Or at least the potential of your business. So I want to not just give you the path to making your first 25K to 50K per month, but I also want to show you, if you ever feel like you owe it to yourself to be great and to achieve greater success, watching this presentation will show you the roadmap of how you will take this first case study and turn it into something that will make you 100,000 all the way to $1 million a month. Now, I urge you guys to take action after watching this, because as I release this, thousands and thousands of people will see this, and a year from now this may not be the best solution to sell. So whoever takes action on it the fastest is who's going to reap the rewards, right? So do not wait to launch this offer. Do not wait to get marketing into the world, to get appointments, to get deals flowing, okay? If you want our help doing that, we would love to help you. I'm going to probably leave a link below for anyone who wants to apply to have us partner with them in launching this offer. But I urge you guys to take action. This is by far the best offer, and I'm also going to be showing you guys the niche that we're scaling into, where we're acquiring leads for $5, $10 and getting appointments for $50, but we're still able to sell these solutions for $10,000. I'm going to get my team to throw in a bunch of proof, or you're going to see the proof in the presentation. But this is by far the best path, where if you can acquire clients for a few $100 and sell them a system for $10,000 and only have fulfillment costs be like a few $100 or maybe at most $1,000, then that is the perfect business for you. Now, if you want to listen to other gurus that tell you to go become a freelancer and to make your first $10,000 a month from selling $2,000 a month retainers, then please go do that. But why wouldn't you just stick to selling one system for $10,000 and make your first $10,000 a month from selling one client? Do you believe that you're able to get one client in a single month, 4 weeks, 30 days, one client to make 30 grand? Or you can just sell 5 of them and make your first $50,000 a month, okay? I love y'all. Again, if you want our help to help you launch this offer, you can click the link below and apply. We'd love to partner with you and help you launch this offer. To learn more about how we're scaling our clients' companies, it's at the end of this presentation. I hope you guys get to enjoy. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Happy New Year again. All right, let's get started. So I decided to do today's presentation because something over since we did the last one, we did the one on where we're presenting the AI content agent, and once we started onboarding clients, we just started seeing this trend where a lot more people had been kind of like building AI solutions, and I was trying to figure out the best path to also see success with AI. And the best path that I've kind of like seen is actually, I'll kind of like explain it better by just going over the doc. My goal with today's webinar is to not necessarily just make it about AI, but I want to go over how to make $25,000 a month in profit in 2025. That also guarantees that you make your first $1 million in profit in the first 3 years, in the next 3 years or so, right? Leveraging the AI trend in our build and release model. Now, why am I talking about 25K a month and also $1 million profit? It's because the point of today's webinar has nothing to do with AI itself. It has nothing to do with the build and release model. It actually has nothing to do with any specific thing other than how do we win and make it inevitable for everyone not to win, right? So we ended up just going through a lot of the data that we have, and I realized that I see so many people, smart entrepreneurs, who are going after different opportunities and who end up struggling just because they picked the wrong vehicle, they picked the wrong offer, and they picked the wrong market. Today, I want to go over how do we pick the right people to sell to? What should we sell them? Okay. And what is the business model that we're going to use so that we can actually scale? Right. And the idea here is at the end of it, everyone will have a choice. Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? Being right and being rich are two completely different things. So many people fall in love with the idea of being right all the time. They want to do things they want to do. And guess what? Those are the same people that a year in, 10 years in, are still stuck in the same position. I've never done what I want to do to grow in business. I've done what the market wanted me to do, and I've given the people what the people wanted, picked the model that allowed me to get there, and that's how you scale. Okay, so let's get started. Let me see if more people are coming in. Okay, perfect. So everybody's beautiful. This is much better. I'll be seeing guys. If you can put your camera on, just so I can see the beautiful faces, who you guys are, right? Never sure on these meetings, but let's get to it. Cool. Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you. All right. Cool. Um, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Who's right now already selling AI, or who is in the local market, local niche? Anybody? Let me know in the chat. I know some of you guys are still, and who isn't? I want to know who isn't. I'm not. Okay, cool. Okay, beautiful. Then this is good because I don't want everybody kind of here selling the same, not like already in the opportunity because that's gonna change, differ. Okay. I want to briefly just go over who I am. I know some of you guys are new here, so let me just go over this real quick. Um, I presented it last time on the Webby on the first episode, but born in Rwanda, came to Canada when I was 13, went to school, dropped out of college, worked 9 to 5s. Then while I was working at 9 to 5 at Good Food, an e-commerce company in Montreal, Canada, I just started making a little bit of money, $2,000 a month to be exact. And I just started buying up a bunch of courses online. And, in 2020, June, I just got tired of being in the same position, but always, that state of, you want to become an entrepreneur, but you're still at a job, but you always tell people like, hey, I'm learning how to do Facebook ad, I'm learning how to sell to businesses, I'm doing some cold calls, I'm sending some outreach, but you're still technically a entrepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur, but you're not actually an entrepreneur, right? And in June of 2020, I just decided, you know what? I'm tired of being a entrepreneur. Let me actually become an entrepreneur. And I decided to leave. And leaving my job there's something magical that happens when you decide to bet on yourself and you go all in. somehow the universe just ends up wanting you to win. And I ended up closing my first client. Uh, well, my first, I guess, decent sized clients. He paid me 4.3K, which technically was over 2 months worth of income on my 9 to 5, where I was working 40 hours a week. So technically, even though I spent 3 months trying to get this client, getting one client paid off um, 40 hours times 12 weeks, which is a lot of hours saved for just serving one person. Okay. And then after that, made my first 10K a month once I decided to pivot to selling appointment setting services, and made my first 10K a month. 4 months later, scaled it to 30K a month. But I just decided to shut down that appointment setting agency just because I didn't want to be right. I wanted to be rich. This theme is going to be super important. There's this guy Jeremy Haynes. I'm sure you guys maybe have seen him on YouTube. He runs a lot of ads for a lot of the for a lot of big names in the coaching consulting space, and he loves to say, "Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich?" And today it's really stuck, and I want to really start leveraging it because so many people want to be right instead of be rich. Okay, so I decided to change business models. Instead of selling appointment setting services for 1,200 bucks a month, I started building and releasing growth infrastructures, an entire set of systems, protocol, and even talent. Back then we would place talent into businesses, and they would pay me 10 15K upfront. Made my first 6 figures a month in September, no, in November, right? And then a year later we were doing $500,000 a month. um, and yeah, today we partner with other people who want to be rich instead of be right, and we turn their services into productized infrastructures, transformations that we can sell into their markets. Okay, so yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Now, who is today's presentation for? Um, you want to win more than you want to be right. You're tired of being an expert but still struggling to make ends meet or reach your revenue goals. You're looking for the right thing to sell and the right niche to sell it to. You want to sell high ticket solution and infrastructures and not sell your time. Today, I'm not necessarily going to be, you guys will see that. My goal is not to tell you, like, hey, become an agency owner, make 2 grand a month per client. No, my goal is, even if I tell you to do that, it's just one step towards a bigger goal, right? It's for you if you want to know the best AI growth infrastructure, you want to know the best client acquisition system to generate leads and appointments past 25,
Perfect.
25 to
Very
30K a month.
perfect.
Uh, cool. Thank you for muting Will. Now, who is this not for? Anyone who want to be right more than they want to win, or AKA be rich, right? So check this out. I want to go over something that's super important. Being a nerd and staying in your basement engineering AI systems, workflows, or agents won't get you rich. Being great at business building will. Therefore, 80% of today's presentation will focus on giving you the clarity on how to make millions regardless of AI. Let me repeat this. 80% of today's presentation is more about strategy and business building than it is about AI, right? I'm sure we all know hundreds, if not thousands, of people selling AI, but who are still not making millions of dollars a year. And do you know why that's the case? Because even with the right thing to sell, if you pick the wrong strategy and the wrong model, you're still going to be stuck. You're just going to be a slave to your own business, right? And if you don't like it, please, you can go on YouTube. There are 1,000 channels. Even I sometimes check them out, teaching you how to make workflows on make.com, on lengthflow.ai, pretty great tool. I've been looking at it. Vapi.ai for anyone who wants to set up some AI dialers, right? And all of these channels, though, I can bet 99% of them make less than 100K per year. So for everyone here who thinks that AI is how you make money, AI is not how you make money. No, 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 no. And just to give you context um, on why AI is not how you make money, what's the Microsoft invested um, $10 billion, I believe, in OpenAI, like an investment, and that investment alone took Microsoft from being probably one of the least, the one of the smallest, one of the companies that people were looking at and being like, "Hey guys, what are you guys doing? You guys literally built the entire infrastructure for computers, but now you guys are last in this race towards AI. But that single investment moved them into one of the top five market caps in the entire world, right? I think right now, I think they added like, I don't know how many. I think they probably added like an extra trillion or two of market cap in the last 5 years. Okay, so most entrepreneurs will never make $1 million a year. They'll be average their entire life because they never learned the only lesson that matters. How much profit and scale you reach is equal to the leverage you acquire, not how hard you work. My goal is to help you avoid the mistake of remaining average and mediocre. Why? Because you're better off getting a job than running a small business. It is stressful, it is lonely, and it is a sure path to never having financial stability and security. There is this misconception that we start a business so we can be financially free and secure. And that is one of the biggest lies that I've ever seen. Now, is it better to work for yourself than to work for someone else? I guess. For me, not really. I'd rather work for someone else and let them take all the risk, and while I just get my paycheck every 2 weeks or every month, than have to sacrifice every single day not knowing where my next lead is going to come from, my next appointment is going to come from, my next client is going to come from, and I also have to worry about fulfillment, right? So everybody's told to build businesses, but in my opinion, it's the biggest scam, because if you look at it, the average business owner, the average small business owner earns 60 to 70K a year. You can earn this at a job and not have to take on all the risk and the stress that comes with building a business. And that's why I personally call building a small business a scam, right? Why would you take on all the responsibility and stress in the world only to make 5 to 6K per month? It's literally irresponsible to run a small business. So what's the solution? This is where I like, this is why I like business. You get to choose. We all play the same game, but at the end, we end up with different outcomes. The solution is you start with the end in mind and learn how to make tens of millions of dollars instead. I don't want anybody here to want to make 25K a month. Yes, you have to get there. And I know, so many marketers are like, hey, Serge, like we need to simplify the message so we can talk to everyone. But I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be another person telling my clients like make 10K per month, because making 10K per month is one of the worst position to be in, right? I would love everybody to build wealth. That's the only reason why you would start a business. So, um, before I go over these three stages, I want to walk you guys through some people that went through them and that we all know. Okay? And I think you guys are going to like this. And this is, by the way, this is the premise for the entire presentation and for the entire thesis around the existence of client acquisition.io, right? Let me show you guys something. So let's say you are starting out in business, right? The number one thing you need to do is you need to pick a niche. You need to pick, okay, cool. I'm going to go after coaches. I'm going to go after agencies. I'm going to go after roofers. I'm going to go after solar. It doesn't really matter, right? And then you need to pick a service. Don't worry about unique mechanisms. For now, just pick a service. Then you need to know how to market. Then you need to know how to fulfill. And then this here is, can get you to your first 6 figures, multiple 6 figures a year. Okay? You can look at it this from every type of business model. You can look at running brick and mortar businesses like a gym. You pick people who want to get in fit. You build a gym, equipment, you market, and then you have, get them to work out. Okay? But look at this. Everybody's sold on this model here. But is it true that everybody actually gets rich from this? Not really. And you want an example? Let's look at Hormozy. Hormozy, oops. Hormozy, for those who know his story, he went to school, got a consulting job, right, and ended up quitting to start 5 gym locations. I think he was, I guess, running multiple 6 figure a year from these gyms. Okay. At 26, he lost everything. Some details is that he had some partners. And then some of them just ended up, they ended up wanting to sell and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, when you get into partnerships, guys, it never works out. All that to say that you should not be getting into partnerships, right? And then he got back to opening gyms, okay? Lost everything again. And this, to me, has always been an interesting story. I'm like, since Hormozy was building gyms and running them and knew how to market, knew how to greet the people. He was so good at scaling gyms that he would even sleep in the gym. Well, I don't think it was because he was good. I think he was just broke and couldn't really, he didn't have another choice, right? But one of the smartest, most disciplined, most, I don't want to live life, I just want to build a business. Even him struggled to grow his own businesses, right? How is that? Why is that? Why is that the case? How did he struggle having all the knowledge to struggle to actually build a great business from gyms? Anybody has want to put it in the chat? Because why did he struggle? Right? Low leverage. I guess yeah, it is a low leverage business model, but I want to know why. Small TAM, wrong vehicle. Okay, so check this out. The answer is running a small business is really fucking hard. No matter how smart you are, no matter how good you are, you will still struggle. Even Hormozy struggled at running a small business, guys. You don't have leverage, you don't have capital, you don't have team. So it's great that you want to know how to dial the lead or speed dial, or you have the AI system here and left. You have the team, you have the setters from the Philippines, from Mexico. You have client acquisition.io that can help you, or that drops of YouTube. You have all these offers. It doesn't matter. You will still struggle running a small business. And that is just the truth. Okay? Now let's look at another guy. And by the way, this is for me, this is the reality that once you understand this, you tend to play the game differently. Let's look at Iman. Iman, I did this research for this webby because I wanted to prove something, okay? Iman, who was getting paid for his passion, Iman Gadzi, right? The god of SMMA after Tai Lopez, right? Tai Lopez built something, Iman took it to another level by looking good and by being young, okay? And by being really methodical, or by really being discreet with his branding. Okay, he's really good at it. And then so he was signing $3,000 a month clients for his agency. Wow, Iman, great job, right? He was closing deals, making money, chilling, living the life that we all want, which is, hey, I just want to be able to sign a client, right? I want to be able to live my passion, to do video content, to take people's pictures. Okay? But guess what? Still not big of a business. I think the most he's ever scaled his agencies is to like 100K a month, right? And that's like with having a team, right? Or let's look at me. In the basement, I had figured out how to get clients, how to get them to pay me $1,000 a month. I still got it to 30 grand a month. Luckily, I don't know even how I did it, but I had like over 22 clients a month paying me 30 grand a month. And I was like, wow, this is great. I finally achieved the dream of being an entrepreneur and making money for my own self. But guess what? Every single morning, I would wake up to problems, and all those problems, only one person could solve them. It was me. I had to deal with the problems. I had to deal with getting clients. I had to deal with fulfilling for clients. And I also had to sleep. I also had to be a human. I also had to have a life. Guess what? I did not have a life. Right? That's only because I was making so little money that like the only way I could make margins was to not be I couldn't hire better talent because I didn't have a business model that allowed me to have so much profits and so much margins that I could actually build a big business. So that's why I decided to shut it down. Okay? But I want to show you guys something. Every single person here pivoted to doing what? Building and releasing their transformations to others. The niche is you, unique transformation. They become a creator. and they had leverage fulfillment. Let's look at this. At 26, okay? I don't know why it's not letting me slide to the left. Oops. Jesus. Oh, 1 second, 1 second. I'm just gonna. So look at this, guys. At 26, left his consulting job. Went no. At 26, lost everything with his gyms, right? And the whatever you call license. He went. He was running an agency. So this is important to understand. He went from running gyms to shutting that down because he went bankrupt or he lost everything, to now running a sales agency that would show up in the gyms. He would fly to the gym location, run ads, close the deals for these gyms, and he would take all the money that he collects up front as his income. And he had a bunch of closers, so he essentially built a sales agency, right? But even that, his clients ended up being like, "Yo, we're giving this guy so much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, right? From all the, I think they were clearing at least 6 figures a month. The gyms ended up going back to the customers and telling them, hey, by the way, if you dispute the charge that you paid on this when you first joined, we're actually going to give you a discount if you just pay us directly. So, and this is the mistake for a lot of growth partnerships. A lot of people are told start a growth operating model, build a partnership model. You need to have just one client, and they're gonna pay you 50K a month. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. People are how do I call it? People are selfish. If someone is paying you 50 grand a month, how long do you think until they start being like, you know what? If I just avoided paying Serge 50 grand a month, that would be 50 grand a month in extra profit per month. So all of you guys who live in La La Land and think that you can run growth partnerships models until until you're making millions of dollars and you just sit back and relax, you're delusional. Because humans, your business partners, your clients will always think of themselves before they think of paying you millions of dollars every year. So his gyms ended up getting all the customers to dispute, and that's why he lost everything again at 26. But look at what happened. Instead of saying, hey, I'm going to run a sales agency where I do things done for you, he was like, you know what? What if I license every single thing that we actually use to run the sales agency and the sales protocol for gyms? And look at this, guys. From 26 to 27, in 6 months, he made 3 million profit. By 28, he made 17 million profit. So I have a quick question for you guys. How does this make sense? How do you go from being broke with all the right knowledge to making $20 million in 2 years? Profit. Okay? Nothing else changed. Still knew how to market, still knew how to get leads, still knew how to set, still knew how to close. But changing the model, the offer, made him $20 million, guys. Nothing else changed. Okay? Let's look at Iman. You guys remember Iman with the agency? Little small boutique agency. He posted this video 7 years ago. 6 years ago, he said, 3 things I learned making $1 million profit by age 18. How? How? How does this make sense? How do you go from this year to 1 million profit? Ain't no way you're gonna make $1 million profit with an agency in a 1 year, even if you're making 100 grand a month, which is what the scale at which they hit, like 100, 150K a month. That means that he would have had to be literally making like 80% profit margins, right? Which is not possible. $1 million profit doesn't make any sense, right? Same thing for me. 30K a month in the basement doing everything to $67,000 days. How does this make any sense? Right? The answer is leverage, and the business model changed, and the vehicle we picked changed. And I don't care how many AI solutions you guys are going to be sold to in the next year, because everybody's now talking about AI. And this is where I needed you guys to understand something important. I use AI because that's what the market wants to hear. But what actually gets my clients to scale is not necessarily AI. It's understanding the right vehicle, picking the right strategy. Okay? And this is the lesson. Now, let's go back to here. So, these are the three stages to making your first 10 million to $100 million. You first start with low leverage, right? And slow growth business model, which is an agency where you're, done for you, done with you. It doesn't really matter. I call this get rich when you're old model. Painful to scale due to the complexity of managing humans and the fact that you're selling the unscalable, humans and time. That's really all that agency is. You're selling humans and their time. You're easily commoditized. Anyone can do the same thing if they spend a week learning your process. Hard to consistently deliver results. Your clients have other problems in their business that you cannot control. If you're okay at operating a business, easily make 100K, 250K per year. If you're actually good at what you're doing, then this, you can easily make it. You can easily make 100 grand, 250K a year, right? High leverage and fast growth. Once you're done with this, you need to pivot to a high leverage and fast growth model, which is build and release. You productize something, you productize your journey, and you license it out to others. I call this get rich quick. Unique to you because it's unique to your own story. It's hard to commoditize. Therefore, you can charge a premium for it. Easy to scale, right? I went from 0 to 500K a month in 12 months, right? Now, was this because of a function of like, oh, I had such a crazy offer? Not really. Scale is more of a function of fulfillment than it is of the offer, right? Everything was the same for every client. It was a protocol. It was the same system. It was the same team, plug and play it into every business. Higher value. You're able to solve every problem for someone. Even the average entrepreneur doing this model can clear 500K, right? Meaning the same skills I was using to run a 30K a month agency made easily here scale to like $1 million a year, eventually 500K a month, right? Because it's not like I got extremely great in a year from a 30K a month founder to like a 600K a month founder, right? It was kind of like the same. I got better. I got leverage from the team, but it's not that I got better. It's just that I got so rich that I could afford leverage. But it wasn't that I got smarter. It's I got margins, profits, and then I could acquire more leverage. Okay? Now, so many people want to understand that like this is not necessarily a sustainable model because I'm sure you guys know a lot of Hermosis, a lot of Imans who aren't around anymore. Everybody ends up getting out of this vehicle here because once you've made a lot of money, like Jim Hormozy made $20 million of profit in the first 24 months. Why would he shut down Gym Launch, or not shut down, but why would he exit Gym Launch? It's because it's not sustainable and durable in the sense that you're going to keep making all this profit for forever. Because as soon as he started making this kind of money, everybody probably went into the gym industry and was like, "Yo, I need to make some money too," right? And then they started stealing market share from him, and that's why it probably got really hard to scale Gym Launch afterwards, right? Or Iman. Why is Iman saying, "Oh, I don't sell courses, I now sell software"? Because now there is a million other people selling to agencies. Here's how to scale your agency to 10K a month. Here's how you get 50 appointments or you don't pay. I'll get you a quick appointments. I'm like, there is literally people who've never run a business who are now selling to agencies. So like this $1 million profit that he made at 18, 6 years ago would probably be 100 grand a year. Okay. Same thing for me. Why did we start partnering up with clients? Why did we start getting a percentage of our clients' offers? Is because I'm sure people, when they saw how much money I was making, $1 million in 90 days, everybody wants a piece of the pie. And it's pretty normal. I don't judge people. It's literally capitalism. Capitalism is when people see an opportunity, they jump in it and they all fight towards the bottom. Okay? So, what should you do? The idea here is once you've made your millions of profits here, you start playing a game that is high compounding. The highest compounding you want to pick a model that is really compounding, meaning you go from so you started a business that got you skills, that got you a case study, then you went into a more leveraged vehicle that got you rich fast, okay? And then the next thing you want to do is you want to get into a business model that I call the get rich for sure, where there is high barrier of entry. You need capital and higher skill set, right? Meaning you need a shit ton of capital and you need a lot more leverage. Where a simple person who wants to make 50K a month or 10K a month is not going to come in and play with you. And even if they would spend a decade trying to make it work and they're still not going to make it work, right? An example, and you also want to get into a game that is what? Super scalable. This is like get rich for sure, high barrier, super scalable. Example, software, right? Another model that is has high compounding effect is acquiring companies, like buying up, like you would buy a home, you acquire companies, which is the business model that Hormozy is using with acquisition.com. Example, private equity, slower, but your leverage, since you acquire large organizations that already have assets and cash flow, right? All these business models, these two ones here, software or acquisition or acquiring businesses, they make time your ally. Meaning, all you have to do to grow is sit back, relax. Okay? And examples of this is go high level. $60 million they raised. They're probably worth, I think right now, especially with everything they've been cooking up, right now go high level is probably worth multiple nine figures. There might even be close to half a billion, right? ClickFunnels, 100, they're making over nine figures a year in revenue, not nine figure valuation, nine figures a year, meaning they make over eight figures a month. Okay, let's look at Instantly. Instantly, revenue reached $20 million, up from 2.4 million in 2022. So from zero to 2021, 2022 they made 2.4 mil, and they made multiple eight figures the following year. How is that possible? Right? Iman, let's look at his stuff here. Iman with his new software, Flozy, $1 million a day, right? There is a common theme here, right? And that is you get rich, then you take all your investments and you go into the get rich for sure game that has higher barrier, okay? If you pay clear attention on the differences in each stage, you notice that the only differences are how you deliver value, okay? The fulfillment model from done for you to done with you or do it yourself to automated. That's really all that it is, okay? In this model here, it's done with you. Or some people just don't do it yourself, right? I know people who sell programs really expensive and they still don't do anything for their clients, right? But if you guys look at it, software is automation of fulfillment. Acquisitions is consulting. You take a bunch of money, you acquire a business, and you consult the founder, or you acquire new CEOs or new leadership, and you just let them cook, right? You don't do none of the work if you don't need to. So the sooner you understand that wealth is created from getting paid to deliver great value without trading your time is when you start playing the real game. Otherwise, you get stuck selling the time, and the only thing that is guaranteed is growing old, right? Guys, let's not sell our time. That's the only thing that matters today. My goal today is to make it inevitable for you not to scale past stage one. Why? Because once you're past this level, we can partner together and achieve these kind of results. right? Oliver started working with us, scaled his lead gen offer, then started helping lead gen agencies. Started working with us between 10 to 20K a month. And a month or two later, he was making 77K a month with just six clients, with six new clients, right? So he was running, I believe, a coaching offer with 60 new clients a month, paying him, I believe, like $500 a month. And then he was making like 30K a month with it. And then we just pivoted him to selling his infrastructure and everything like that and got him to 77K from just six clients, right? Wyatt, for those who know him, he started working with us at 2 to 5K per month, implementing AI into businesses. 3 months later, 4 months later, he was making 50K a week and scaled past his first 500K a month in 5 months. Dylan um, was runs $1 million a month OFM agency. I think he has partners on that offer, but he also has a consulting business that he started working with us, helping other people just like him do the same thing. He was making 25K to 40K a month, and then we scaled him to 230K a month from getting him 24 new clients a month, and now we're also doing webbies for him, and it's just cooking. Okay, Mo, this is a guy who builds e-com brands. Now he's essentially consulting others on doing it. He's not a client yet, right? But he messaged me a while back after selling like three packages in like a week, making these 30K, 36K from it, just through DMs too, not even um, anything, right? The goal is though is you have to have a case study. You cannot just get into playing this game unless you have case study, right? Does everything make sense so far? Let me know in the chat, guys. Cool. All right, beautiful. All right, now let's get into the boring stuff. Oops. Uh, cool. Let's do it. All right. Our 5 steps to going from 0 to 25K a month and beyond, which is stage one. The main goal with these 5 steps is to acquire a case study, which I personally call your insurance policy. Once you have this case study of building and scaling a business, you can effortlessly jump into more leveraged business models. Without it, you'll forever be stuck with nothing truly valuable to sell and making, nothing valuable to sell to make millions, right? I say this because most people think they can sell one service forever, but if there's something you learn from being in the online space long enough, is that what works today will most likely be irrelevant tomorrow. So you have to acquire skills, processes, systems, and talent that are timelessly valuable. If one AI system, one AI agent stops being valuable or becomes super commoditized, you have other things to sell. Let me repeat this because this is an important lesson. The goal with acquiring your first case study of, let's say, scaling your own business past 25K, 50K per month is so that you can acquire things that can't be commoditized. I know people today who used to sell Facebook ad and making, let's say, like 50K, 100K a month 2, 3 years ago when I got started in business. Today, they can't even clear 30K a month from it. And that's what will happen with everyone here today who's selling AI and who thinks AI is the end all be all. It is not. It is only temporary until it becomes super commoditized and OpenAI or Microsoft uh, or Apple starts giving away, or Meta starts giving away all these assistants for free. So you're really just trying to acquire a story, a case study. You're not really going to do AI forever. Okay? So, step one, picking the right niche to serve. Who you serve is the most important decision for your business. I know some of the most disciplined and brightest entrepreneurs who can't make more than 10 to 25K a month or more because they choose a niche that is one, super sophisticated, like agencies, coaches, consultants, software, or ecom, right? Anyone starting these businesses is a marketer and learns about scaling every hour of each day. So, as an example, look, it kills me when people think they can sell to like agency owners, like acquisition services, especially when, like half of the people here already run agencies, right? On this call. And then you have other agencies that think they're going to make money from selling to you, but you probably already know more than they know themselves around getting clients and scaling your own business. Why? Because we're going to spend 2 3 hours on this call together, right? So when you're pitching, it's the same thing for your services, guys. When you're pitching your ads content systems to grow their businesses, you're just like selling advertising to Facebook ad or to Meta, the business, or to Mark Zuckerberg. It's like, bro, he built the platform you're advertising on. Don't you think he knows a thing or two about advertising, right? The next mistake is super competitive. Everyone wants to sell to these unique to these niches because it's cool and it seems simple and you can do it from everywhere in the world. But therefore you end up with hundreds and thousands of people who have these taglines. I can get you 10 to 30 sales calls per day. I'll scale your audience with short form content. I scale info products. I scale coaches. I help creators monetize their audience. I help brands scale, right? Every time I see someone with this as their description, in my opinion, I would consider that they're broke. Because ain't no way you're really making real money doing this if you do not have a brand. Like the guys who say you scale info products, I'm like, how many info products have you scaled, brother or sister? Please tell me how many have you scaled? How much money have you made scaling info products truly? Right? You haven't done anything. You just saw this guy doing it, and then you thought that since he looks cool and he drives a Lambo or a Porsche, that you should also have the same tagline on your in your Instagram bio. But we both know you can't even get a client to save your own life, right? And this is the sad truth in the current game we're in. Everybody's copying everybody, right? And nobody knows who's actually making money. Okay? Super commoditize. The outcome of high competition is that you'll be one of 10,000 other service providers selling the same thing as you. And if you're competing with a kid in India whose cost of living is like $100 per month, he'll give a Facebook ads or GHL systems implementation or school community building for 500 bucks per month. And he's going to be ecstatic. He's going to be like, what? I just made 500 bucks a month. It's lit. He's going to take his girlfriend to dinner after he makes it, right? Or he might even buy a new car because 500 bucks, you might get a pretty nice car, right? And as Matt messaged me, no, he messaged, talking to someone on my profile. And this is what's happening in the market, right? I think he does growth operating for creators. In terms of numbers, he did 8K, 17K, and then 22K in my first month with my creators. Then very low four figures. Four figures is 1,000 to 2,000. It's less than 10K, right? He made less than 10K the following month, and even three figures with one group. He made hundreds of bucks after the launches with the creators, right? And the reason is most because after them, they've burned their leads, they've burned their audience, almost zero marketing, and they don't want to be course sellers, which I understand, but still, they want more sales without barely any marketing. And this is the thing that you guys are being told to go sell to creators who are like dummies, right? They only know how to make TikToks and get eyeballs, but they know nothing about business building and how hard it is and the sacrifices you have to make. So therefore, you're serving people who aren't even willing to take the risk, who aren't even willing to put in the effort. So now it's yes, it's leverage because they have an audience, but leverage times zero is zero. If you have someone who has followers and you milk their followers after one launch, month two, you're gonna make $1,000, $3,000 from that same product, and later on, you're gonna be making nothing, right? And this is the truth about going after people who aren't actual business owners, right? Now, who should you go after? So picking the right niche, and who should you go after instead? So here are the conditions we look at when before we decide to target a niche. Are they easily accessible? Can we put an ad up, run ads, get leads, sales calls affordably and fast? If you can't find or afford to find, whether that be in time, meaning you're doing manual prospecting, or money, you're using ads, leverage mechanisms to get leads and appointments, to find your ideal prospects, please switch niches, right? If you can't find them, you've already lost. You've already failed. right? The next thing we like to look at is the lifetime value of each client high enough? The more money they make per client, the more value any percentage of improvement or growth will be. Example, you help a business convert 10% more leads into appointments and it generates them 5 new clients per month. If each client is worth over the lifetime $10,000, that's an extra 50K you just added them from just improving, adding on a 10% improvement and getting them 5 new clients from one simple system or one process. And it allows you to ask for more money for your service. Is the market size big enough? 50,000 plus people. The smaller the market, the more expensive acquiring them as client gets, and the smaller the growth potential. That's why most investors will avoid small markets since the potential returns on their investment is capped from the get-go, right? Like you're probably not going to build a $1 billion a year business in a niche that only has like 20,000 clients, 20,000 potential clients, right? Is the sophistication level low? You don't want to sell to people who know as much as you or more than you about the thing you're trying to sell them. The bigger the gap in information and skills, the higher the perceived value. The next thing is, can we find proof of the efficiency delivered by our solution? I personally don't like to be the first mover in any niche. If you're trying to make your first 25K to 50K per month, you don't really need to take on that much risk. You don't need to go and discover a blue ocean. Everybody gets so excited about, oh, blue ocean this, blue ocean that. But it's like you're trying to make your first $500,000 a year. You do not need a blue ocean to do that. You need a red ocean where you know that there is meat, right? If the ocean is red, it's because there are some sharks out there that are eating. So please go and feast too, right? But if you are a first mover and you build, let's say, like the first AI workflow or the first AI agent into a niche that has never seen it before, then you better have millions of dollars because that's what it's going to cost to market and get everybody ready to jump on, right? Now, based on these insights, what is the best niche to target to scale past 25K to 50K per month? For me, I generally just look at cost per lead and cost per booked call, right? And the best niche we've ever found is local service businesses or local businesses. Imagine a world where to get an interested prospect, it only costs you $3 to $9. I can't even buy my morning bagel. I ordered a bagel this morning and it cost me $20. And for $20, I could have gotten a lot of leads, right? You're getting $6 cost per lead, $20 cost per booked appointment, $600 spent, $8 cost per lead, 72 leads generated. Apu, $19 spent, 11 leads, $1.7 cost per lead, 5 calls booked. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know how this was happening. This might be a glitch because this is insane, right? Um, Harry had an ad 7 days, be 11 cost per lead, but then ended up being 1.8. But now it got $5 cost per lead and $1.8 in the last few days. Malcolm, 4.3. Wait, let's see, 4.3 USD cost per lead. Already doubled the budget from the start. Willing to spend $30 a day. Cost per lead is $6.36. Right. So local markets, super easy to get leads and appointments for cheap. Right. Average LTV. I asked ChatGPT to give me the average lifetime value of the following niches. Dentists on average make 2 to 5K LTV per patient. Chiropractors 1.5 to 3.5K. Accountants 3 to 15K LTV. Financial planners 10 to 30 grand LTV. Attorneys 5 to 20K per client. HVAC 2 to 5K. Plumbers 1 to 5K. Landscapers 1.5 to 4K. Auto repair, solar installers 10 to 30K per residential install. And by the way, one thing I was looking at is these markets are huge. Lawyers, the number of businesses, 450,000. They bring in over $400 billion a year. The growth rate isn't the biggest, but it's such a big market that even at 3% growth, you're still chilling, right? Solar, 10,000 companies, but look at the growth rate. Every single year, you get 15 to 20% more businesses. That means that every single year, you're getting 1.5 to 2,000 new solar companies being created. right? So the market is growing like crazy. Accounting, 140,000. HVAC, 110,000. Landscapers, 600,000. So many landscapers. Jesus, it's crazy, right? Now, for context, Gym Launch that made he made $20 million in the with scaling to gyms, and look at how small the gym market is. 40,000, right? So uh when you're thinking about local markets, I want you to understand that like if he did this with a niche as small as gyms, imagine what's possible with all these other niches. And these are just four or five that I listed, right? And the other thing that I love is that the beauty of selling to local businesses is that their business isn't marketing or growing their company. It's building homes, it's fixing people's smiles, it's cleaning windows, installing solar, which keeps them busy enough where they're not going to try to be good at what you help them do, right? And the last one, which is really sick, is the beauty of going after local businesses is that to find a contractor or a commoditized agency to help you fulfill is like this. They're everywhere. So that means that you can really step into the game of like, yo, I want to be an operator and an owner, not necessarily just someone in the trenches launching Facebook ad or setting up an AI dialer or doing all that, right? So you can just jump straight into leverage. And that's why I said, I don't like to be a first mover. I would rather just be better at building offers and strategy and find people underneath me to fulfill on the strategy other than, having to be stuck in fulfillment in the trenches so much that you never even get to grow your business, right? So, local businesses all the way, all the way, right? Cool. Does that make sense? Any questions about the about the lawyer? No, about the local markets. Does that make sense? Is solar big enough with 10K? I mean, it's growing at 15 to 20%. And I know guys right now who are um, now you guys will understand that we're just trying to make 50K a month with the first business. Who cares if the market is big enough, because also like that's also what happened, right? Everybody here, it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like there's stages to this game. It's not your first business or your first profit builder doesn't have to be how you're going to make a billion. Let's make half a million first. And you don't need 10,000 people to make half a million. You need maybe 30 clients or 20 if you want. Okay? I'm not going to go into questions right now, but like drop them. Can we give them a form? I mean, anyway, we'll write down your questions. We're going to get the end. We're going to do a Q&A, right? So everyone here, don't worry about the size of the market if you're just trying to make your first 30, 50K, even 100K a month, okay? Now, let's go into building the offer. Before I share the offer that we've been selling to the local markets, I want to give you the principles and frameworks we follow when building them. Because, trust me, the amount of people who can go into the local market and get local manufacturing businesses to give them $25,000 upfront and 10K a month, it's like 0.0001% of the market. Most people in this market will never make 30K in their first 6 days of the month or 32K, right? So how are our clients, and by the way, even I was never able to sell more than like $1,500 a month packages. So how are our clients and partners closing such deals in a niche where everyone struggles to charge more than 2K per month? Here's lesson number one. The customer is always right. We've all heard this concept before, but plenty of us misunderstand this since the only situation we apply it to is customer service. If a client is unhappy, please give them a refund. Do whatever you can to make them happy. The customer is always right. Jeff Bezos, the customer is always right. Sam Altman, the customer is always right, right? But a lot of people actually got it confused. What Sam Walton meant when he shared this insight when he was building Walmart was not if the client is upset, refund them, right? A lot of you guys are selling what you want to sell. Therefore, you never even get the customer complaining about wanting a refund in the first place. Right? If you never give them what they wanted, you never even get to handle customer support. Okay? That is, by the way, lesson number one. That's why we're going all in on AI. Next month, if there's some like our AGI comes on, I'm doing a webinar on AGI. I'm becoming an AI engineer, and I might even go get a degree in at ChatGPT and OpenAI and start prompting a bunch of the agents myself, just so I can do a webinar on it. Right? We sell what the market wants. And then the other thing which I've shared in the past is leverage trends. And this guy said it so well, right? His name is Brad Jacobs. He said you can get a lot of things wrong if you get the big trend right. Conversely, on the other side, if you don't get the main trend right, you can do a lot of things right, but you won't make a lot of money. This is one of the most important things to understand. Even if you were to be a great human, a great business builder, you could do everything: launch your ads, set, close deals, fulfill, do all those things, and still not make a lot of money. Why? Because you never learned the most important lesson, which is just give the market what the right market wants and ride the little wave, ride the little trend. Okay? And I want to show you guys a little snippet from it because I think it's super valuable. So let's do that. All right, now I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to change the mic. Okay, cool. Think you guys should be able to hear it.
Or they become mainstream. Well, I do spend a lot of time thinking about trends. I spend a lot of time thinking about the wider context of things. Like, okay, here's a situation. What's the context of that situation? What's its origin? What's its present conditions and characteristics? What are the ways it could go? And what would be the catalyst to make it go right or straight or left? I intentionally think about trends quite a bit because in business, in the business world, you've got to get the major trend right. You've got to get the major trend right. And as my main business mentor, may he rest in peace, Ludwig Jesselson used to say, you can mess up a lot of things, but if you get the main trend right, you're going to make a lot of money. And conversely, if you don't get the main trend right, you're swimming upstream, you can do a lot of other things right, but you're not going to make a lot of money. So I intentionally spend time thinking about where does all this fit in and where could it be going?
What's your research process like?
I like people and I like picking people's brain into that.
You said you can get a lot of things wrong if you get the big trend right. What major trend are you most interested in right now?
I'm most interested in AI because it is the trend. It is the number one trend whereby our technology, the software, that intelligence will be able to consume so much information, much more than we human beings can, even with 100 billion brain cells. The power of computing is so much greater, and be able to then analyze that and be able to spit things out and be able to.
You guys can't hear anything? Yeah. User 26. User 26. I think it's the name, man. I think it's the name that's messing up a lot of the things for your. Okay, everybody has a username, user 72. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the audio. It's fine. Let's go.
Eventually, I'm looking forward to the point where computers become emotional, where they do have emotion, where they do have empathy, just like we have mirror neurons in the front of our brain, in the prefrontal cortex. I'd like to see that trend materialize, where computers can feel, can have theory of mind, can be sitting here with a conversation with Shane Parrish and feeling what you're feeling and feeling happy about what you're feeling happy about and feeling sad about something you're not feeling happy about. Now, I'm looking forward to that trend a lot.
The saying AI is sort of everybody recognizes AI as being a trend, but you've spotted several trends well before people recognize them. And you were way ahead on the AI curve too, as I understand it.
Yeah.
How do you spot those trends before they become mainstream?
Well, I do spend a lot of time thinking about trends.
Cool. So I listened to this. Wait 1 second. I'm going to change the. I ended up when I listened to this podcast, I just ended up really going diving really deep into AI. I think it was maybe like I think for sure earlier this year, like around February. I ended up doing the first webinar on AI once I heard this guy say it. And this guy essentially, he's also into the business of acquiring companies and just, spinning them up and making them better and acquiring them, right? And holding them. And when a guy who's like, he's into like logistics, right? He's not even necessarily a nerd. He's just in the business of like just hard asset stuff. And seeing him talk about it, I was like, okay, cool. Let's just get to work. But I want to show you guys real life case studies of us embracing trends in the past. And that's the beauty of client acquisition is that as much as we build client acquisition systems, growth infrastructure for our clients, and launch their offers, we're actually not here to. We don't care to just do those things. We care to be to win. And I have a good friend of mine. I actually had dinner with him the other day, this past weekend, and we worked together. He joined our program back when it was called Half a Mil, and he was making below 30K a month. And now he's done a course with Iman in Educate, all that good stuff. For some of you guys may know Justin. Um, he was running Facebook ad for brands, right? But in 2022, he came to us, and the number one thing we told him is, you know what? Stop selling Facebook ad. Just stop selling TikTok and UGC. And literally, in the first 4 weeks of working with us, hey, I thought I'd pop in and share my weekly, monthly win. We just surpassed 50K this month so far, 52.7K to be exact. It's our first 40K month, let alone 50, right? All that we did, we didn't we didn't set better. We didn't set up a follow-up sequence. We didn't do more outreach. We just said, you know what? Just leverage this trend, please. And that's how he got 52K per month, right? And the reason why I even added him in this presentation is because he reminded this to me while we were having dinner. He said, "You know what? The only thing that you helped me do back when we worked together was just pivoting to a better offer. That changed everything for him." Let's go to another case study, Jirov, right? The only Jirov in the world. Met him in London January. He was literally making no money, working as a garbage man to support his business. And back in, he was just getting a few jobs here and there. And we ended up just getting him into the short form content trend, right? When short form was just starting to come out. And 4 days after launching his acquisition campaign, he got 3 sales calls booked in 24 hours, sent 50 looms, and closed 27.3K worth of deals in 1 week. 2 months later, he started having $20,000 days. And this, again, it's not about working hard. It's about leveraging what the market wants. Okay? Another guy is Amar. Amar, same thing. Facebook ad agency couldn't scale past 25K a month to save his own life. Got him to completely restructure and start offering TikTok and UGC. And Amar in 7 weeks scaled to 60K in MRR, which was insane. He was by far back then our fastest growing case study. And once I saw him make 60K a month in 7 weeks, I was like, yeah, this makes sense, right? It's like every single time we see a trend of a market based on the data that we're on the offers that we're launching, if we see something that everybody wants, we're embracing a trend and giving the market what it wants. You can get a lot of things wrong if you get the big trend right, right? Now, someone was asking, what is the real deliverable? I'm gonna go over the deliverables shortly, but I just need you guys to understand the actual uh, process of building these offers, right? Another thing is unique mechanisms that bridges the gap. The fastest path to never acquiring wealth is to sell something that everyone is selling, something that is commoditized. And we try to stay away from simple commoditized service offers like lead gen with Facebook ad or editing content. If you tried selling leads to local service businesses, they would only consider your offer if it's free due to how numb they are to those services. Want to know if your service is commoditized, if the market is numb to it? Reach out to 100 businesses, and if you get less than 3 to 5% reply rate, it means you're cooked, right? So many people are like, yeah, it's normal. No, it's not normal. It's not normal because there's someone out there who's getting 30% reply rate and they're selling to the same people. So it's your job to figure out how to get a higher response rate and a higher interest rate. Our solution to is that we build unique mechanism and infrastructures that bridge the entire gap to acquiring clients. So as an example, if we go to a local business, let's say a roofer, someone who sells roofs or solar, we're not just trying to sell them leads because they can get leads on their own. They have a bunch of media buyers that they could hire or that are in their inboxes who could run ads for them. Instead, we want to go to them and be like, you know what? We know that you're unable to generate enough leads. Unable to manage the leads. You're unable to turn those leads into qualified appointments. You're unable to follow up with these leads consistently. Your leads aren't showing up on appointments. You have a long sales cycle. You have no organic presence. You have no website. You have no CRM. You're not utilizing their old lead list. You're unable to sell or no good sales process in place. No systems in place for scale. No referral system, right? And then we just simply want to pick up and implement everything, right? We want to implement ads acquisition. We want to set up a qualification process. We want to set up a follow-up process. We want to, if you guys can do it, Google review, right? Booking page, GHL snapshot, a bunch of pipelines, reactivation campaign. And then on a sales call, when we're on a prospect, no prospect will have any objections about the fact that they're worried that we can't deliver results. And most of them will beg to figure out how they can come up with the money to access the solution. So the difference between you having to work for free with your first client or not is dependent on how good you are at showing them, convincing them that you actually bridge the whole entire gap. And of course, if you do that, you also get to charge a lot of money, which is why we don't, based on our pricing model, we don't charge monthly retainers to get started. We like to charge upfront fee for implementing the growth infrastructure, right? Because it's scary how many people think they can scale charging 1 or 2K per month. You will not. You'll only make enough money to become a master and a slave to your own business. And everyone who's on this call, I know this hits home because even though you figure out how to get people to pay you 2K per month, 1K per month, and you might be making 20, 30K per month, but we both know that those are like golden handcuffs. It has deluded you into thinking that you're a business owner because you've been able to get people to pay you, but you're actually not running a business, right? You were sold the idea that making money means being free when it's not. You're just, not only are you a slave to your own business, but you're also a slave to a lot of clients who are not paying you enough money for you to be able to afford freedom. So you're stuck hiring low-skilled labor, cheap labor, because you don't have the margins, which means that you have to micromanage all day, every day, right? Instead, we like to go to the market and be like, hey, it's 12 grand for us to implement this AI infrastructure. This was a call that got booked from Wyatt. This was his first client, by the way. He went from charging $500 for implementation to $12,000 on a 22-minute sales call because the lead came from YouTube, watched the AI dialer work and booked the call, and he sold it for 12K. Right now, the beauty of charging this much money is that you have enough margins to hire experts to fulfill. Okay, if you charge 1 to 2K, you will be the one to fulfill because you don't have enough margins. But if you charge 10K, you can put 2.5K to get someone to build out everything for you, right? But the beauty about this, again, another benefit is that client finance acquisition. An even greater benefit for this pricing is that with each new client, you can afford to acquire 1 to 3 new ones without spending any of your own money, right? $12,000 client that they pay, 2.5K to fulfill, 9.5K is left of profits. If it costs to acquire a client, if you're spending maybe $1,000 to $2,000 to acquire this $12,000 deal, with 9.5K reinvested in marketing and sales, you can acquire another 4 to 9 clients, generating you an extra $48,000 to $100,000 in revenue. One single client on a high-ticket implementation acquires you 4 to 9 more clients if your CAC is 1 to 2K, cost to acquire a client. And this is, by the way, this is the cheat code. If you do just this with your business, you could literally leave and everything is going to be good. You're going to scale without even wanting to scale. You're going to make more money than you know with what to do with, right? But a second benefit is that it is infinitely easier to retain someone on $1,000 a month or 2.5K a month who has already paid you $10,000 than it is to sell and retain someone who starts working with you on a monthly retainer. Why is that? Well, it's because with this amount of capital from one client, you get to afford a great experience in fulfillment. That means that you use information to get them in, you charge a lot of money up front, build and release something into their business, and then you retain them on something that's leveraged. It could be service, it could be, let's say, media buying, it could be content, it could be data, right? It could be consulting. But if you try to retain someone on just ads, and that was your first initial offer, front end offer, then your ads are going to get them leads, but they're not going to be set. They're not going to be followed up with. They're not even going to know the right offer to sell, and therefore your client is going to struggle. So we do this to effortlessly grow. This is a leveraged way of running a business, of structuring your ascension model, right? And this is the same playbook that Hormozy used to scale gyms. He'd get every single gym to build $600 packages when they were just used to selling a $50 a month, $100 a month package, right? He also used it to scale gym launch. For those who ever learned a little bit about gym launch, they charged 16K upfront, and then on the back end they would charge 3.2K per month. I think this was like a yearly commitment, and they had 500 gyms paying them 3.2K per month, which is actually, by the way, insane because the average earning from every client here was like, or the average gym size is like 30K a year in profit. So they were getting 30K on average from the people on the back end when the average profit was on from the gyms that they earn is 30K a year, right? And the only way that was possible is because even though this was expensive, it got people results because they would bridge the whole entire gap for these guys. They would build the offer, build the acquisition, build everything on the back end, right? So that means that most people would see results, and then they would put them on the retention and continuity offer, right? Without this structure in your offers, you're not gonna scale. Okay. The offer and the deliverables. All right, cool. Are we ready for us to go over the offers and the deliverables? We might talk a little bit about AI now, since everybody's ready for some AI. Cool. All right. What I'm about to walk you guys through is, since we did the AI content thing last month, I believe November, we just did a lot more research, and we started just getting a lot more data on a lot of different applications. So yeah, I'm about to walk you guys through some of the applications so that you guys know what's been cooking. So let's go. 1 second. All right. Right. Following every principle above, here's the current offer that we've been helping our clients and partners launch and scale in the local market to create financial freedom for themselves and their families. Now, it is important to understand that the main obstacle that a lot of these local businesses deal with is none other than the following. I'll show you. In order for a local business, right, to go from, oops, here we go again, acting crazy. In order for a local business to go from their current situation, I would say doing 6 figures and less, to scaling past $1 million a year and beyond, they need the following. Just like you guys who are running service businesses, the same way that you guys need a unique mechanism, they also need a unique offer, right? They need a front end offer that has a lot of margins. So, and that is in high demand. So the number one thing we do with these businesses is we actually help them restructure their offer structure, like their offer. We help them build one offer that we know will cook and will allow us to have margins. So that's step number one. Doesn't matter if you're going to local, lawyers, doesn't really matter, right? You need to help them build the right offer that is scalable. The next thing that they need is attention and demand. They need leads, they need a whole lot of leads, right? And the best way that we've started seeing it apply really well is what? AI enabled content. So let me show you guys real quick. This is a client. I'm not going to share his page so you guys don't have to ask me, because it's his page, it's his asset, it's his and his own story to tell, right? But I want to show you guys this. The story behind this client ending up on this thing is he was actually running kind of like an online offer, right? No, not an online offer, but he was more so into e-com. And then he ended up having his sister kind of like just remodeling his her, I think, basement or something like that, and it ended up taking like 6 months, right? And he was like, you know what, there's better ways to do this. And then he ended up realizing, like, you know what, let me go start up a little development company, construction company, since this doesn't make any sense. And then he the best way he did it is like, you know what, I don't want to just spend money on ads, I don't want to do like everybody else does. So he started a this content thing, right? At first, it was using AI avatars to try to get content and views, okay? But it didn't work out until he started doing what? He started doing this, which what this is really simple. It's the same thing, the same logic. It's this idea of going on. In this case, it's not Instagram, it's not YouTube, it's not Reels, it's not ads. But what he's doing is, I'll actually show you guys something. The idea is really simple. You go on TikTok, okay? And then you get viral ideas that's going viral in your market, okay? And then that's not how he's doing it. This is just how we're replicating this process, right? And the idea is we want to find winners. Once we find winners, right? So we have this system you can fill out, and then whatever niche you're in, and then you're gonna get what's going viral. So here you have 3 million likes, 100,000 likes, 800,000 likes, 300, 700, 1.2 million likes. That means that these videos are going viral like crazy. Okay. And then you have two options. Either you analyze the videos and manually recreate them based on your own resources, right? Or you could just have our kind of like AI engine, AI content engine, create new scripts based on what went viral, and then you package them into an, I believe you put it into, I'll show you guys real quick. You put it into this. You put it into AI voice, right? You can use 11 Labs. That's what we like to use. And then you just put the outputs like this. Just push out the outputs, and then you end up with the intro is, so the AI voice, all you need to do is from the client. What he did, the client, is he just took videos from the site of the renovation, and then he would just put them together. But the audio and the topic and the hook was all based on what's already going viral. The hook was legendary, and it was all based on what's already going viral, and there were topics that just get a lot of people engaged. As you guys can see here, 1.4 million views, 1.7 million views, 1 million views, 1.1 million views, 4 million views, 6.6 million views. And what was the outcome? Really simple. 600K in 6 months, and over 800 leads, and over 60,000 followers on this profile, okay? And he never had to spend any dollar, any dime on ads, right? All that he had to do was get the workflow. I'm sure he was doing this manually, right? Get the hooks right, do the research, get the content put together, right? But for us, what we're trying to do is we're trying to automate it with this kind of like workflow where we can get ideas found automatically for us. Then we restructure the content. Then we put them into 11 Labs. Then we have an entire workflow on how we do this. I can show you guys later, but this is it. But guys, this is angle number one. This is mechanism number one. This, by the way, there's only like nerds and marketers who are doing this. There's no construction company that's generally getting millions and millions of impressions every single month from viral content on Instagram. I don't know many. Do you guys know any? Right? Oh, so someone said getting a client to film is really a bottleneck. Well, what do you mean film? It's not like they have to do a YouTube video. It's literally take a phone and just record the solar roof being installed. 30 seconds, 60 seconds, cool. Just give me 60 seconds reels. What makes these videos viral is not the content visually. It's the topic, it's the hook, it's the voice. It's almost like it's the messaging, not the actual video. Right? So cool. And by the way, I want to show you guys something real quick. I don't know if it's the right order. I want to know if this is the right process. But anyway, so mechanism number one, this is one. We want to get an AI kind of like content engine flowing and build these profiles so that they go viral for these local businesses. Okay? And look at the outcome. And by the way, this is kind of like the workflow of turning the AI generated creatives into the outputs. I'm not going to go over that because it's not important, right? I know some people have had a lot of questions like, is it automated? No, we still use editors because you still need some people editing the stuff, but editors, you can pay them like $10 per reel or whatever, and then they'll cook it up for you, okay? Now, look at what happened. We launched this offer for Temi in the targeting remodelers and everything like that, and his cost per booked call went from $150 to $20 cost per booked call. 24 hours later, he had 9 calls booked on a Monday and literally freaking out. Okay? This is what I mean by, and by the way, so check this out. The reason why his cost was $150 was because he was pushing I think the angle was like, hey, let's get you more jobs. Let's get you more of this or you don't pay. And what that created is prospect would get on a call and be like, oh, you're just another one of these agencies just trying to make promises and trying to give us a bunch of proof, a bunch of like, I'll give you a new life or you don't pay. A lot of people are doing that. And these guys, the cost per booked call was $150. That's although for people who advertise a lot, $150 per booked call is actually not bad. But when he pivoted to showing the virality effect and the fact that he would not just get the attention, but that he would also take the leads, nurture them, turn them into ready to buy people, not just window shoppers, right? Cost per lead went from 150, cost per booked call went from 150 to $20 per booked call. And guess what? He didn't have to do like, or you don't pay, right? And that's just from showing the machine being applied, right? Now, let's go into the AI dialer stuff and the AI system, WhatsApp and the setting stuff. I invited a few clients who have been building and releasing these systems into the local market to share their impact and how it's impacted their own growth. So, Ethan, I'm going to get you to jump on first. If Ethan, you're around, let me know.
We can either Ethan or Andel. Quickly before they jump in, one thing, because I'm reading the comments in here talking about like the real bottleneck is getting people to film, right? Even though you've mentioned it, Serge, but thing is that we've already been trying to incorporate like the content side of the stuff with local businesses, like as a part of the offer, like for so long, whenever we knew like how important content is and whenever Serge is speaking about that, and the market wasn't reacting good to that, right? Even though we tried previously like pushing it with some of the clients for the local businesses. The reason why it's a bottleneck is because most of them are old school. They would hate to put their face on their faces on their pages. They would hate to follow a script, and even though it's faces, but they would hate to follow a script, right, while they're filming. With this, and by the way, if you actually look at any contractor's phone, you would already see all of his gallery is basically his projects, right? Whether it's remodeling, before and after pictures, whether it's in construction, whether it's in solar, whether it's whatever the case is. These businesses are already doing it. They're already like taking photos, right? And videos. All you're asking to do is take more of that. And second, also for a lot of niches, like I would assume, like because I've checked that out, most of the local niches, even though the client, let's say, is a bit late on sending you their videos and their photos that they recorded, there is tons of softwares out there that you can take from them stock videos. Stock videos for construction, stock videos for anything that you're thinking of. So now you have these two options. Like there is no need for you to wait on the client to do that, right? That's in case the client was a bit late on that. So that's why the market is reacting good to it, because they're already doing it. They're already recording the videos. So yeah,
that's a
but
good insight. Yeah, none of the videos in the that Temi uses to blow up that channel are include the founder or the actual, like, he even himself is not in those videos, right?
yeah,
So it's not a big bottleneck. Like, it's not a bottleneck as much, right?
user for, I don't know what your name is, user, but you're saying it doesn't work for lawyers. We actually have a client. Alex is already doing it for lawyers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, see,
We'll see about that when we show that off. But
I mean, I'll show you. Like, who said it doesn't work for lawyers? Let me show you.
user,
User what? User, give me the
just
username
user.
number. His name is just user. Look at this, user. The most consistent client building and releasing growth infrastructures is selling to lawyers. 20K deals, 15K deals, and not just one of them, right? It's like 1 second. I don't know if it's gonna be here. Maybe not the screenshots. Like, he just got like 15K deals like a million times over, right? So it's not true. It's a lie what you're saying. Cool.
Maybe we can start with Andel.
Endel, I'll let you cook. You can unmute yourself.
Love you. I think we're good now.
Cool. Love it.
Okay.
Yeah, introduce yourself, where you're from, and then what you've been. And also talk about a
Yeah,
little bit more stuff, like, because you haven't really always been in the local market. So tell a small snippet of your story real quick.
yeah, sure. So real quick, guys, my name is Andel. I'm from Trinidad, which is a Caribbean island, with around 1.4 million people, but my market is the entire Caribbean as a whole. Recently we've been building and releasing a WhatsApp AI sales agent that we've built that pre-qualifies, follows up, and books appointment automatically. That's now, but before this, I've been in the e-commerce space for around 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And over the time, it was very stressful because I used to do cold email, and then I went on ads, sending thousands of emails a day. I had about 20 email accounts I used instantly, and then started to run ads. E-commerce was like $300 per book call, right? Where I'm from, USD is a lot. It's like 7 to 1, right? So I went into the solar space. That helped, which is like in the local. So me being in the solar, I realized that a lot of people were struggling with not just leads, but more so quality of book calls. So, and that's what we've solved. And let me kind of like walk you through that in a bit. So let me share my screen. What we've been cooking. If you guys could
You can you can share
disable
it.
that. Yeah. Let me try.
Try. I mean,
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's still disabled.
okay, cool. I'm gonna make you co-host. You
Nice.
can now.
That's fine. Right, guys. So this is the Caribbean, right? A bunch of islands. Anyway, so most of them, they boosted the post, they ran ads, sent every single one into like the WhatsApp DMs, right? And I clicked on multiple ads and people were getting annoyed because of this, meaning consumers. Clicked on the ad at 8, the automatic responses were, hey, we're unavailable right now. So you're running ads and you're telling people that you're unavailable. Another one was 10:46 p.m. and they would respond the next day, midday, with a long time. So a lot of calls that we had, they were saying by the time they reach back out into the leads and stuff, oh, we went with somebody else already. We went with somebody else already, right? You know? So unlike the setters, they don't work at 1 a.m. in the morning or 10, you know, or so on. So this is what we built for them, kind of short. So we did add a lead form, all right? From the lead form, we did this for a solar client. So let me walk you through. These are like all the leads that we get them. And we have the agent, which I'll show you, automatically reaches out and has a conversation with them. We had a guy in the construction space as well. We started with him on October the 29th. And within 2 days, as you can see right here, he closed the deal, not appointment. He closed the deal for 15K USD. It's 100K in my currency, but 15K USD, right? And the appointments cost anywhere from $10 to, you know, $10 here, all right? That's one. Also another one in a solar company, they were doing like 2 appointments a week, and it's a husband and wife. It's a husband and wife. So the husband had to travel to Brazil for work. So it was just like the wife. And what happened, they didn't expect all that work. So from Friday, we launched the ads. By Sunday, they had 31 booked appointments automatically, you know, booked on the calendar for the entire week. And it was her alone. They just had a baby. So it's like, she was really like stressed out on how am I gonna take all that, those calls, right? So that's that there. So let me show you a live conversation on like how it actually works. So yes, it is built in Go High Level, but I really want to share a really key insight that I think will make you think here. If you use the WhatsApp on Go High Level, it's very limited, right? You can't reach back out to old past conversations, let's say with someone who messaged you like a week ago. So what we've built is that we kind of tricked High Level. So don't send High Level this recording. So it goes into the SMS, but it actually is being sent in WhatsApp. So, right. So now we have absolutely no restrictions whatsoever in reaching out to persons. We could do it how many times, we won't get marked as spam, right? We even did this for a dentist last week. So let me show you. We have channels here in the wins for my own. We have a dentist within 3 appointments booked within 48 hours. Haven't even run ads yet, just reactivation, workflow, and AI. She has a list around 600 contacts, and we booked 3 appointments. But this is for Invisalign. This is worth like 2-3K USD each. All right, no ads as yet, just reaching back out automatically to her old client base. By the way, I hope I'm making sense. Let me know if I'm making sense so far. So yeah, I want to walk you through like, let me see if I'm saying, how do you trick you? That's a systems integration type of answer. But let me walk you through it. So we had someone, by the way, I use this for my own self as well. So he reaches out saying, hi. By the way, I name my assistant Mary, right? You can name it whatever, right? It qualifies them. So you could see like, hi, I'm in the educational landscape. Serge mentioned earlier, like in the childcare and tutoring space. It's big, it's actually huge, right? And we've been getting a lot recently. So as you can see, it responded with, hey, are you running a school tutoring service or something else in that space? You know, it sends double messages, basically pre-qualifies them, right? How many inquiries are you getting? They're getting 50 to 100 messages. He actually thinks he's speaking with someone. Okay, the full conversation flow. And at the end, when let me show you, when he books the appointment, as you can see, he asked for 10 a.m. 10 a.m. was not available. We got him for 9. It then summarizes this conversation and sends it for my team. Well, currently I take the calls. So I get to see his monthly revenue, about the business, the bottlenecks, without me having to be in the conversation. So for my clients and them, only the appointments that were pre-qualified get booked on the calendar without them having to speak with anyone, right? And this is what it looks like. And one thing finally, let me add on with that. Let me see if anyone, I want to know how we check. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But I said it's being sent out within SMS, but it's actually within WhatsApp. Finally, too, this is the final thing. It does actually understand voice notes. So if someone sends a voice note, it automatically in the backend, it transcribes the voice note and then responds, right? We also integrated within FB Messenger and stuff. As you can see here, again, I can't reach back out to this guy because it's been 7 days, right? So you guys are limited in that aspect, you know? But guys, like once I seen this, I immediately reached back out into Isa and those guys. And Serge, and I was like, yo guys, like you guys have to look at my new AI offer. I closed a 5K deal, right? I spent around $804 in ad spend. We collected 12.2K USD. Revenue was 18.2K, right? So just ask me to go into other locations, but I want to milk here first, and then we'll
Yeah.
then we'll see
I
what's
wanted
going on.
because a lot of
Yeah.
because guys, just to put into context, Endel is in. I mean, you would kind of like say it's not necessarily a first world country, but it's kind of like close to there when it comes to like their price, the currency, like the value of the money. To make 18K in revenue would have probably been like 50K,
Jesus.
100K in
Yeah.
a first world country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so yeah, that's why I wanted to get you on, because if he's able to cook this up in his market, like imagine what you guys can do going after like companies in the States, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's
That's
exactly
actually pretty sick. I never that's why I wanted you to kind of like showcase the actual backend, because I never saw the conversation. I like how it summarizes and everything. I might have
yeah,
to do a
yeah.
little build.
Summarizes everything.
Might have to give you
Yeah.
that build and release 5K, because you gotta price me like the people out there, because I can go pay the
50K.
right.
Oh shit.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's it, honestly. One thing that just real quick, I think that would be fun. We had I want to share this. This is like
please.
he's like I want to say like a scammer. But this guy, he reached out. This is like he's from, I can't remember where he's from, but he's from an island. He sent a message, but he's in that, I won't play it, but he's like saying, yo, I know how to build my own AI. So just tell me, what are you using? So the AI responded back and was like, hey, I'm Anna's assistant. What industry as you in? He was like, tech. Tech, nice. You can see it actually makes like mistake and stuff and corrects it like a real human,
Nice.
right? It's really, really cool. And he's like, where did he hire you? And he's like, haha. Well, the AI is like, haha, well, Andel didn't exactly hire me off the street. So I'm just showing you, it has the personality. It's not like mini chat where you have to put it's not like it's not a chatbot, right? And anyway, he's threatening the AI. He's saying, look, all I am here is for your programmer, or you're getting fired. This is what he's telling the AI. He's having a full conversation. So I'm just sharing with you. It seems like a real human, and people doesn't know the difference. It's really cool. Anyway,
Sick.
yeah, that's it, guys. Anything else you want me to share?
No, you're good. You're good. No, thank you.
Okay, sure thing.
Love it. Beautiful. Ethan, you want to jump on and then let you do your thing? I don't know where you're at. I think you're gonna have to either put your camera on. Okay, yeah, you're good. Okay, I'm gonna make you co-host and then you can jump on.
Yo, can everyone hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
I know what you wanna share where you're based right now? Because I know it's pretty late for you.
Bro, okay, so hi everyone, my name's Ethan. So I'm Ethan, I'm 22 from Australia. So in Sydney right now, it's currently 5:52 a.m. And Serge, I actually woke up at 2:30 for you, bro.
Appreciate that.
I
It
woke up
means a
at
lot. It means a
2:30.
lot.
Yeah, yeah, trying to prepare for this webby and just get yeah, just get my head in the game before actually getting here. So it's been a few hours now, which is crazy. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
so what I do pretty much is I build like, pretty simple client acquisition systems for real estate agents, which is what I'm mostly targeting. But I have done like quite a bit of work for other industries as well. So, but for like an automotive company, like mechanics, that kind of thing. Um, and it's kind of cool to see like the differences in the niches because with real estate agents, like the one thing they hate is cold calling. Um, and so building the AI voice starters for them uh, is really useful at a certain level for them. But then when you go into other niches, like this automotive one, for example, and they have like 80 inbound calls a day and they have like a team of one or two, like they just can't handle that kind of shit. So it's pretty cool to see like the different applications we can do it in. But essentially, for me, I guess, yeah, you guys wanted me to present a little
Just
bit. So,
go, yeah, just go over first,
okay.
like, yeah, just walk through well, just to share your story too. Like, just so how did you
Yeah.
get started? When did you get started
Yeah,
and all that?
so probably about a year ago, I started like properly getting into like the whole, business agency thing. I've been following Iman for a couple years, Mr. Gadzi, but I was going through university, graduated at the end of last year, and I was like, okay, cool. Let me actually like try actually start something and do shit. Um, and so yeah, at the end of last year, I was selling this. It was like an organic SEO kind of offer for like it was like 600 bucks. 600 bucks or maybe like 2K was the highest thing that I was able to sell. And that was just to like local service companies as well. Pretty much just using this sort of little AI thing to build landing pages and boost organic SEO. But yeah, that was super unscalable. So beginning of this year, I actually found out about Surge and decided to pivot. So around, I think it was Feb, March, started, well, I found about the AI voice agents and started building those. And so let me share my screen actually. So first thing I did was actually try out the voice agents just by themselves, not as um like a whole infrastructure or anything. It was just the voice agents. And can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. So this one here, okay, cool. So this is one of my first voice agent clients. And this was like they had their own leads already, and pretty much we just built it to like do outbound dialing for them. Um, but this one was pretty cool. So this client here was able to, I don't know if anybody knows about the real estate niche, but there's a thing called for sale by owners. So homeowners, they try to sell their own homes without real estate agents. So we use the AI to actually call those leads. And from that, this agent was able to close a $1.6 million for sale by owner home, and they took home 32K in commissions from that. But what I noticed was that with like AI voice agents and everything, a big thing is actually volume. And so without having a higher volume of leads, it didn't really matter as much to them and it was harder to sell. And so with this client here, it was like a team, so Bridget, Griffin, and Zahir. Pretty much, we offered them after the AI dialer, we actually offered them ads on top of that. So we were like, stacking and building the infrastructure on top, like Serge has been saying this whole time, right? And yeah, so they hate cold calling. They do it for like 4+ hours a day. So to relieve the actual lead gen side of things and also, converting them into an appointment from a lead list like this, we actually implemented ads and we were able to get, like $30 leads here. And from this, so this one client, we generated them 10 leads from this single week. And this specific client here actually closed a $1 million listing from this client in the first week that we just ran the ads for them there. And they netted 15K in commission. So they only did get one appointment from this, which was what's that, like $30 times 10, $300 for a booked appointment, right? And that $300 booked appointment actually converted into 15K in commissions for them. So that was pretty cool. And obviously, I actually use the voice agents for myself as well. So I wanted to actually just quickly show that here. So back in October, we were actually really using it a lot. And one of the big things for me was actually using it for follow-up so that I didn't have to, follow up every single day. So as you can see here, um, so this lead opted in October the 12th, right? And we've got the AI doing a double dial, not just a single dial within the GHL workflow. We actually got it to double dial. And the great thing here as well is that when it does do its dial, it creates a summary of the call or whatever happened. So for example, here, it called but didn't get a response. It went to a voicemail system. And then also it drops in the recording of the call itself. Okay. And so it did follow up for a few days. You can see October 12th, October 13th. And then finally on October the 15th, on the second call attempt, um, the prospect actually picked up and the AI was able to book in a call with this prospect. So the Jordan, which is what we call our AI dialer, called Ethan to follow up on a form he filled out. Despite his initial hesitation, it scheduled a call, pretty much, and booked in a call for me, right? Has the whole call recording there, as you can see, booked appointment, which is kind of crazy. And this is like, keep in mind as well, so 5:39 a.m., I'm sleeping. I'm not up calling my leads at 5 a.m. I'm getting my AI to do it, right? So that's like, it's pretty crazy. And one of the coolest things about this whole offer, right? But from there as well, since then, I have actually been building out a much more, I guess, well-rounded offer. So obviously we've got the ads as the front end lead gen to actually bring in the qualified leads. Because one of the biggest problems that real estate agents has is qualified leads. Most of the time they just don't know how to generate leads, don't know how to get people who actually want to sell or buy a home, right? A lot of tire kickers when you're running ads because they just don't know how to do it. I was speaking to like some agents who use this random software called Street Text. I don't know if anyone else in the real estate niche knows about it, but it's called Street Text, and it was literally just like the most default plug and play thing, and they were spending like hundreds of dollars on it a month. And so if we can jump in and actually generate them qualified leads, using lead forms, everything with a strong offer on the front end, like Serge was saying before, actually implementing a proper offer for them, um, helps generate the leads. Then we've been building sales funnels for these agents as well, implementing the AI dialer plus the email text automations to follow up with the leads. And then we've actually started creating content as well. So this one client here, Joseph, he's actually in Australia as well. So this guy has paid me 15K for uh,
Really?
yeah, for the whole thing.
Crazy.
So ads,
Yeah.
dialer, GHL, sales
Wow.
funnel, automations plus content. Um, and yeah, he this guy, we're looking to crush next year. So we've been just making content for him as well, as you can see here. Um,
It's
yeah, because
called
he really wants to build his personal brand, and that's one thing that I've picked up on too, and I've started to build my personal brand a little bit more. And so
Mhm.
we very much aligned on this, and we were like, yeah, let's go. Let's build your personal brand because I can meet up with him in person, have a coffee with him, film some videos, chuck it to the editor. And then we're running ads on the other side. So, we're bringing in the quick, fast leads, and then we're also
Mhm.
building his organic personal brand. So we're pretty much just building his entire funnel, and then making sure we follow up and convert those leads into appointments as well. So yeah,
Nice.
cool stuff, man.
Sick. Sick. So how much have you collected since February launching this offer, this business?
So that 15K was this month with him.
Mhm.
And pretty much since then it's been like roughly about 10K a month. Just as I was stabilizing and figuring things out because I first did what do you call it? The AI dialer.
Yeah.
My first deal there was 6K for the AI
Mhm.
dialer. And then ads added on top, which is like a 2K offer, right? So
Yeah.
like 8K. And then yeah, close this fucking big one this
Yeah.
month, which is
Congrats.
crazy.
Congrats. Congrats. No, I
Yeah.
mean, congrats. But like I was saying, your first business is supposed to be hard. And that's
It
what a
was,
lot of people aren't being told, right? Like Ethan, you just showed us a fucking sick system. Like set it up. Undell, same thing. All you guys are cooking up great systems. But the thing is, it's still hard to grow the business because you're dealing with other people who still have other problems and who are not necessarily going to value as much, right? So it's always hard because you still have to fulfill like crazy and take on all the workload, right?
mm,
So
yeah.
10K a month is, I mean, it took me a long while to make my first 10K a month. So congrats on now that you're selling bigger deals, you know? Thank you so much for having jumped on, and yeah, I can't wait to cook some more. For sure after this Webby, we got a lot of work to do. Okay.
So
Um cool. All
thanks,
right.
guys.
Let's get back into the presentation. I'm gonna show you guys. We're gonna go into client acquisition and then we cook. We gonna cook up. All right. So now, not all things AI related. Not all AI dialers work really well. Not all AI. Not everyone can use an AI WhatsApp messenger, kind of like agent. So you also have the option to place setters. A lot of our clients, we've built a database for setters that they can place into their um, clients' companies, right? So we still do think humans have a role in the appointment setting process, right? But everybody who's been selling these AI growth infrastructures, AI dialers, just prints, right? We had boys at Insight.ai spending like $3 cost per lead, $5 cost per lead, and getting a 30x ROAS, return on ad spend, from the ads that they're running. You got Ethan here, who's also closed a few deals. Haynes targeting dentists, closing a bunch of these deals. KJ insurance niche, his first 9.5K offer. So a lot of people have been just cooking up a lot of these offers, and we've done a lot of webbies in the past. So that's that, right? Now, once you have uh, once you have the right thing to sell, okay, which we've covered here, which is content page or AI, paid ads, AI dialers, AI DM setters. There's also other tools like Assistable that my team is getting our clients to use to leverage. Not everybody before it was like you would use Air.ai, then you would use Vapi, then there's also Synthflow, I think. But right now we're also using other ones that are a lot easier. So we also have all that good stuff. Then you have the setters. Then you also help them with their sales process, right? This is where you help them with their funnels. We help them with their script. Some of them can't even close, so you also might need to help them consult. And this is how you essentially end up getting them results. 50K job, $17,000 additional job from one customer last week. A bunch of units being installed in the solar market. 17K roof sold for a client in 2.5 weeks. All that good stuff. Okay. So this like okay, now you have the deliverables of what to sell. Okay. Now you need to get your own clients, right? There's a lot of work that still need to be done. So this is what I call turning thoughts into money, acquiring clients and making money. I like to call this uh, turning thoughts into money because that's exactly what it is. Once you have acquired this skill, the playbook and the growth infrastructure, the same problem you're solving for these local businesses needs to be solved for your own business for you to make money. So we go through and implement this workflow, for clients around 30 businesses a month that we do this for. We walk everybody through this whole playbook. I mean, I can show you guys real quick what it looks like. This is an example of a client in the incubator, Kareem. We go through this whole entire project, right? Takes us 4 weeks, and we just go through the whole thing. Step number one is communicate your value and offer, right? Everything that I just walked you guys is all good, is great. But I know some people were so focused on like, oh, what are the deliverables? What are the deliverables? But it's like, to be honest, you don't need to know anything or have anything before you sell it. What you need is one, you need a process selling VSL. You need to sell the market on the process. So our clients, we get them to build, we help them build these process maps that essentially showcases the customer journey and how the problem is solved with their service and their infrastructure. This is an example of remodeling, construction. This is an example of the restaurant niche. This is also like a Google Doc sales letter. We also have the deck sales letter. This is for lawyers, right? So we build this out, put it on a landing page. Okay. I'll show you guys an example. So you go through these steps, then we put it together. Then we have the sales deck, and then you have the funnel, right? This is dental space. This is another client. This is in the lawyers, right? So we build this out. So once you have this, then you're kind of like ready to get people sold on what you're trying to sell them. Okay? This is communicating. The next thing that we need to do is we need to integrate systems. Before we launch any campaigns to generate leads, appointments, and clients, a foundation to manage all the leads and appointments and clients coming through the funnel has to be built. Workflow tracking, all the automation, CRM, sales tracker sheets, Discord server, all of these kind of like go through implementing it done for you for our clients. We used to get our clients to do it themselves, but we realized that like, you know what, some of these systems are technical, and we'd rather you focus on making money than try to integrate a bunch of zaps, right? So we have our systems integrators who come in and they just set it all up. What it looks like is something like this. You can look at it this way. You have the kind of like the project map, which is like, hey, we're coming, GHL sub account snapshot, Google Calendar, your funnel, your automations, everything here. So we connect all of this up for you, the sequences, everything that you kind of like need, even your calendar, your Zoom, all that good stuff. And then once it's done, it will look something like this. You have leads coming into your system. You have booked calls, notifications. You have calendars. You have all that good stuff, right? So these are all for all the companies that we're currently like launching every month. That we automate all this back end. Once you have this here, you're able to have data in a sense, right? And what this allows you to do is now you actually have an infrastructure that you can have your team come and work on. Okay? That's step number two. So you need this to set up systems if you're going to go into scaling into well, building any business, really. Once you have the systems and the offer and the thing that sells, the people, the VSL and all that good stuff, then you have to focus on generating demand, attention, and leads for your offer. The best and fastest path to doing this, in our opinion, everyone should be running ads, right? Not only is it fast to generate results for clients, it is also super affordable. This is, let's look at this. This is money spent last month. We spent $86,000 on ads in the local market. The average cost per lead was 15 bucks. The average cost per booked sales call was 53. The best cost per lead was $2.45. The best cost per booked call was $9, right? While every single person out there who's being kind of like taught to or launching a business, they're told to do outreach. But I'm like, why would you do outreach if you can get a sales call for $50? Right? The only reason why you would do outreach is if you literally don't have access to a credit card and you're in a first world country where money is hard to come by. So please, yes, do outreach. But if you're in a first world country, you don't have any excuse to not be using leverage. And we also are doing it in the French market. Cost per lead in the French market is $10, $49 per booked call. Cheap leads can also be cheap. Cost per booked call can also be pretty cheap, right? This is an example of a client, Janae. She's in our incubator. Launched her first offer, 14, spent $66, booked, got 14 leads and 4 sales calls. And she was freaking out because this is what happens when you're normally used to things taking a lot of time and you get on ads. It just ends up going crazy really fast, right? Faisal, 72 hours after running ads, 28 leads, 8 sales calls, $70 spent. Alexi, going after franchise businesses. He was currently a setter on an offer that helps. Essentially, they build like companies for people, right? So he's a setter making money. Then he ended up joining our program, so we can help him launch it while he's working, getting his own revenue, his income from his job, and launched ads for him. $100, 11 leads, 5 book calls. This is like black magic. Apu, $3 cost per lead, $10, all that good stuff, right? And it goes on and on and on and on. Now, the playbook is really simple. We set up all the ads. We have a little different playbook. We warm up ads before we warm up ad accounts before we launch anything. You need creatives. You need to connect to the GHL account. You need to set up lead forms, all that good stuff. Every single step of the way is kind of like mapped out. Here we have a little workflow that maps out this process. The next thing is appointments. It is crucial for us to have an appointment setting infrastructure, systems, processes, even talent to turn our advertising and marketing investments into profitable campaigns. Most make the mistake to just spend money on ads without it, uh, without even without it, and even if without it, and even if it seems like they're booking calls, the show up rate is so low that they start losing money. This is an important lesson. Just because you can get cheap leads and cheap cost per booked call doesn't actually mean you're gonna make money. It's almost like a vanity metric. Doesn't mean anything. So for us, every single company we launch, we need to put together an infrastructure that becomes like a force function and increases the conversion rate of lead to booking rate. We want the highest conversion from leads that end up in a booked call, and we also want the highest conversion of calls that end up showing up. How do we do that? It's really simple. Setters, funnels, more process selling via sales, right? I'm going to show you guys shortly. But this is how you end up with $40 cost per booked call on the new offer. Edgar is in the French market. He's going after construction businesses, local businesses in the French market, right? Five, I've already showed you guys Endo. $1,000 spent, $21 cost per lead, $63 cost per booked call, all that good stuff, right? Actually, both of them $8 per booked call on average. Got end up with fifth month at 50K, and then the process is really simple. You need a bunch of systems on the back end to make this work, right? You need trained setters working on your account, right? And you also need the systems to nurture the leads, so to make sure that they always show up, right? This needs to be put together. So to closing deals, as much as the local service niche is less sophisticated than the online niches, it is important to understand that they are 100% numb and resistant to bullshit marketing and growth services. Due to the countless number of incompetent agencies they've already paid only to see no results, right? As much as I'm saying that everyone here should most likely go after local businesses, if you try to go sell them some, oh, I'm gonna get you leads, good luck making any money. You're better off not even launching any business in this or scaling in this niche, right? The only way to get them to make a decent size investment in your solution is undeniable proof, end-to-end solution, not just some lead gen or get views system. And your closing process and systems have to be dialed. You need to be able to just cook and print money with your sales process, right? Same thing. Edgar, $40 cost per book call, $9,000 cash collected in the French market, which is not easy to do, right? 10K is pretty easy to do in the States when you have big markets. People are used to spending a lot of money. But in the French market, good luck getting companies to pay you this if you're not good with your back end, with your sales process, right? Jamil, 180K first payment of an 180K deal. He's just going crazy with these deals, right? 9.3K for 4 months, 4.3K up front, 17.5K for Jamil. Ethan, as you guys saw, Jamil this week, drowning in deals. All of these are deals that he's closing on his offer. He's also he was going after local niches. 10K deals, 5K upfront, 5K 30 days later. And we have an entire database, guys, of wins, right? We have all of these are all wins in the local market, right? And all of them, as you guys can see here, building and releasing, lead gen, local business, and all of them selling high ticket. Deal size 12.5K plus 10%. 35K in the French market. Home renovation space. 11.2K. 17.5K closed from Damien and Dorian. 5.8K closers closed 2.5K. 12K deal, 6.5K. Gervier and Adam going after restaurants, 5K deals, 10K deals, right? So all of these are all offers that are being sold in the market, right? Now we have a lot more in all the different niches, but we ended up kind of like just segmenting them for the local niche, right? And that's it. And the way we do it is really simple. We have a Google Doc strategy that we kind of like use to the Google Doc method, where we sell based on metrics, not just like questions, right? And then you need a pre-call intent and commitment workflow, which goes over like social proof assets before and after your process selling VSL. You need the show up rate sequence. You need sales assets, sales call conversion assets, and you also need to preferably delegate to a closer. One of the things that we like to do with a lot of our clients is, eventually, if you want to make a lot more money, you have to be removed from selling, because as long as you're selling, you're probably the biggest bottleneck to your own success. So for us, we like to get people, entrepreneurs, founders, out of the sales seat. Now, is becoming good at sales great? Yeah. But, what did I say in the beginning of this call? Is, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? You can be good and tell your friends that you're a great closer and go, say, oh, I closed 30, 50K, 50% close rate. Okay, great. But like, you're a human. You have 6 hours to sleep, 7 hours. If you're me, 8 hours. I need my 8 hours sleep. You have to eat. You have to work out. If you have family, if you have relationships. And on top of that, you also have to show up 1 hour for each call, and you maybe have 6, 7 hours of work time. So the most amount of money you'll ever make, even if you were to close a deal every hour of the day, that's 7 clients a day, right? Oh, you forgot that you can't actually close these deals unless you're marketing. Oh, you can't actually get these appointments unless you're setting. So you actually can't close all day long. You also have to go deal with marketing and setting. So you realize that, like, oh, by the end of the day, you actually only can take only one good sales calls a day, or 2 or 3. So for us, get out of selling. As soon as you can afford leads and appointments, you shouldn't be selling, right? Get a closer in, right? Now, everything that I just walked you guys through is just stage 1 of your business journey, which is, you went after a local business, you had some AI enabled growth infrastructure. It might be the content, it might be the AI dialer, right? Like, as you guys saw, not everyone is selling the content and the dialer or the message AI in AI messaging. Not everyone is selling all the things, but for us, we like to put things together just so we're like, we can't compete with people. We don't like to compete. We like to dominate, right? So maybe you take that, you're going to put it in front of people. You have your acquisition in place. You know how to get leads. You know how to set appointments, right? And you know how to fulfill with the different platforms, okay? Once you have this, you're kind of like, you're good. You've acquired skills, by the way. You now know how to pick markets and select niches. You know how to build offers. You know how to market and advertise. You know how to set appointments. You know how to close deals. You know operations. You've built your first successful business and acquired a case study, preferably scale it past 30 to 50K a month. You're essentially independent as you've acquired the skills, the playbook, the systems that allow you to create money out of thin air, right? And you've done the first, you've completed the first mission, which is, can you be able to can you create success for yourself, right? And all it needs is this: one niche, one unique mechanism, something that is trending, AI. You put together the systems, you got leads, appointments, boom, cool, you're great, perfect, bravo, good job. You're now a typical a normal entrepreneur, right? But you're not done yet, since you haven't really started making what I call fuck you money yet, right? If you're making this 30K a month, you can't even tell, you can't you can't really tell your clients to go home and not talk to you, right? They still control you. Why? Because they're probably paying you every month, and they're like, hey, why is this ad, why does this ad have a typo? Why is this short form not have the right comma at the right place, right? You still have a lot of clients yapping in your ears. It's like, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing this? Why are you doing this? What's going on, right? So you're not really free, okay? You're still Hormozy running the gyms. You're still the imam selling one retainer at a time. And you're probably like me in the basement, uh, cool, making some money and you're chilling, but you're still attached to your computer every single day and you have a nice wallpaper of your dream car and you're chilling. Okay? Now, and this is where I want everyone on this call to get to as fast as humanly possible. Right? What I want everybody here today to, in 2025 in January, do whatever you can to please get to this point as fast as you can. Because if you never get to here, I generally don't ever think it's you're good. You can't build real freedom until you've been able to achieve this. Okay? And that's why everybody should run as fast as you can, do whatever you can, invest in yourself, spend all the money, spend all the hours that you can if you don't have the money to get to build your first case study, which is maybe your first business. Okay? Once you're there, I'd love to partner with you. Okay? And generate these type of case studies, because you're not going to make $52,000 a week selling AI, right? But you could make $52,000 a week launching and helping people go through the same case study, your same transformation that you went through, right? Oliver, same thing. Try to make 77K selling lead gen services, but he was able to make $77,000 from 6 people, helping them go through the same transformation as him, right? Dylan, try to make 230K and have it over 50% profit margins working with OnlyFans models or creators, right? You're not going to be able to, because just one creator alone is going to take up 8 hours a day to manage. You still have to get them content. You still have to make them viral. You still have to do all these things. So the done for you agency model is only good to a point where you build your first case study, but it's not really the point where you build true and make millions like in a year, right? So stage 2, this is where most of the money is made. We build and release an entire transformation, not just a growth infrastructure. Because at the end of the day, remember, when you're going to these local businesses, you're not telling them, here's how to get a real estate license, here's how to fill out the forms when people want to buy a home, or here's how to get a loan, or here's how to get them get them a loan so they can buy their home or whatever. You're just coming in and solving one specific gap, which is attention, leads, appointments, and sales. But there's still a lot more stuff in their career that is not solved for, which is why the amount of money you can charge these people isn't as great. But when you're building and releasing the infrastructure that you use to go through a transformation, that's worth a lot of money. Why is that? Because you eradicate every single thing. If you look at uh, gym launch, right? This because this is an important case study to understand. Most marketers who sell to gyms can't even charge $2,000 a month. Why? Because gyms don't even most gyms, average gym makes like 2 to 3K profit per month. So they're not going to spend $2,000 on a marketing agency. But Hormozy was able to sell a $16,000 package to people who were making $30,000 a year. How is that? It's because he knew everything that they had to go through. He wasn't just selling them more leads. He wasn't just selling them appointments. He wasn't just selling them how to sell. He was selling them every single thing around becoming a successful gym owner. He was selling them an identity. He was selling them an outcome, a way to live, right? And when you're selling that, guys, you can ask for whatever money you want. You can ask because now is it true that it's worth $16,000 to know that I need to package my offer to on a high ticket on the front end and then how to get leads and appointments and sales? No, it's not worth 16 grand. But if you don't want to fail and if you don't want to have to risk losing your time, money, doing it by yourself, then it might sometimes be worth 16K just to make sure that you never have the risk to fail, right? That's what everybody did to really uh, build a lot of wealth really fast. The same skills that only made you 30K to 50K per month can make you 100K profit per month from simply jumping into a more leveraged vehicle. And the beauty of this is you build it once and you can release it, license it to as many people as you want. And you don't have to deal with a lot of sophistication or a lot of complexity on your fulfillment. And people are still going to be excited because you're giving them so much value, right? It might have taken you a year to figure it all out, right? You're giving a year worth of value in like 1 month. Iman clearing 9 figures selling his playbooks to starting and launching an agency, right? Imagine a world where Iman would have made $1 million in a day from running an agency. It would have never have been possible. Imagine onboarding 4,000 customers in a single day. That's humanly not possible, right? The business model just doesn't allow it. Or Charlie, right? I'm not sure what business model business was Charlie running before. I think he was probably in the local market too, right? But his since sold like over $20 million worth. Nick Cosman sold his playbooks to the software niche, right? Ravi Buvala was running a 300K a month lead gen agency in the local market and shut it down. Who in their right mind would shut down a $300,000 a month business? I shut it down at 30K a month. He shut it down at 300K a month to go do what? To go and license out every single thing that he had built, he had leveraged to build his own thing, right? And same thing for me. I made $10 million in the first 2 years, 2 years after making my first 10K per month. If I would have been the traditional entrepreneur, I would have just gone on and I would still be making 50K a month, maybe 30K a month with my appointment setting agency. And I would have just been just running fast 10 times as hard only to stay in the same position. Because you almost like got to defy gravity to grow a business. You have to think in 10x growth, not in one more client at 2K per month type of growth. Okay? Now, this is not to say that you stay in this business model forever. Because I know a lot of you guys ask me, so what should someone do? Here's the two ways you could do it. And this is, by the way, I didn't want to do this because it might confuse you guys. In case of gym launch, the reason why Hormozy couldn't do the acquisition.com play that he's doing right now with businesses is because gyms aren't acquirable assets. In other words, a gym, you can't exit a company that makes 30K profit where you're the solopreneur, right? A business that is exitable means there is no key man risk, meaning the company can keep running without needing the founder. A gym cannot. At least small gyms can't. Like Hormozy couldn't have taken the clients that he was scaling gyms for and acquired them and put them in a portfolio and exited them down the line, right? But he gave an advice. I saw this YouTube video to a guy who helps law firms scale, and he told him that like you have a lot of law firms going through your program. So this guy was at this stage here. He's essentially licensing out, building and releasing scaling playbooks for law firms. He was like, you have to realize that like you're literally preparing your clients for the best thing ever, which is an exit. So he recommended that. This is how essentially the journey works. And this is how a lot of you guys could do it. Let's say you go local first and you implement growth infrastructures. Then you understand a lot of how to go from 0 to 1 million in that niche, right? And then you build a productized offer. It could be like a program where you build and release every single thing that you learn from creating $1 million a year case study, right? If you are in a niche that has the potential to be acquired for investors, right? All you have to do is pick the top 10 clients, acquire them, do what you call a roll-up, okay? The reason why they'll be interested in a roll-up is because of the following. I'm going to show you guys something. This is, by the way, this is the type of stuff that you guys need to know. Because the reason why everybody can stay stuck in the 10K a month, 20K a month, and just stay broke all their life is because you're playing the small game. Therefore, you deserve baby money. You want to play big money? Start to learn to play bigger games. So check this out. And now, a lot of people would be like, why would a law firm, right, accept for me to acquire my business? Well, check this out. A company that's making, so I asked ChatGPT, what if I was to put 10 of them in the same company, so essentially do a roll-up, and I take those companies that I've put into one corp and sell it to a private equity group? What would be the multiple for that? Or if I put 20 of them in a single one, what would be the multiple for that, right? So I asked it, what is the average kind of like multiple you get when you're exiting a company like, I'll see if the niches are here. There are a few markets. So look at the type of companies that are sellable. Home services, plumbing, HVAC, cleaning, dental practices, physical therapy clinics, small SaaS, professional services like accounting firms and law firms, right? And then I asked it, hey, what is the multiple if you want to exit each of these niches, right? The average is the following: 2 to 3x if you're on the low range, 3 to 5x mid range, high range is 5 to 7. Like the most you're ever going to get is 7x. But let me show you guys what happens when you put a bunch of them into one portfolio. And by the way, this is kind of like what Hormozy is doing. He's just playing bigger games, so therefore he ends up making more money. Look at this. On average, each company that's profiting $1 million a year, that's bringing in $1 million profit, you would expect to make $2 to $4 million if you end up exiting that company. But why would you exit a company that cash flows $1 million profit only for 2 to 4 years worth of profit? It would be stupid, right? But check this out. If you were to roll up 10 companies that each make $1 million profit, the valuation multiple goes straight to 6 to 9x. Meaning, if you take 10 companies, $10 million worth of EBITDA per year, the multiple or the amount you would make for that $10 million profit a year is $60 to $90 million for the consolidated entity. Okay? If you were to put $20 million worth of EBITDA, you go to 8 to 12x. That means that if you were to roll up all these local service businesses that are printing a bunch of profits, each making less money, right? Small money, a little bit of it every year, but put them together, it becomes a bigger portfolio. You can sell it for 160 to 240 million dollars, right? So when I'm telling you guys that the goal is to go through these 3 stages, is you have 2 paths. You start an agency, you acquire skills. Then you acquire a case study. Then you go sell every single thing you acquired within that case study. And then path 1, you're serving niches that are exitable. Perfect. Would an investor value acquiring a law firm, an accounting firm? Of course. Would someone acquire a gym? No. So if you targeted companies and niches that can't scale, then it's probably not worth it. So what do you do in that scenario? What you do in that scenario is you do things like Iman has, or that I have. You build and release your transformation. Or that Hormozi did. He made 20 million selling his own process of growing and scaling a gym. It's not, he didn't, nobody here has acquired none of the businesses that they help build and scale. Why? Because it's hard to scale. Like, let's say I scaled a bunch of agencies, right? To 30, 50K a month. Is that agency really going to be exitable in front of in the eyes of an investor? No, because maybe Alberto runs it, but Alberto doesn't want to work on Sunday, doesn't work on Monday, doesn't take sales calls, doesn't want to hire a closer, and in a small little business that cash flows a bunch of profits, that's not valuable for me, because as soon as Alberto decides to not work in the business goes to what? To shit. So that's why most agencies are not exitable. Like, they're, to exit it, I mean, it takes so much work that it's not worth it, right? So path number 2 is the following. This is where you go play the GHL route. You build software. You build software to do what? To serve the people that are going through your playbook. Like Iman is doing it. Iman can't acquire the agency owners that he's creating, but he can build Flowzy and turn and play the get rich for sure game. Does that make sense? So either can you acquire the businesses, or can you build a software, especially with all these AI agents? For us, we're doubling down on AI workflows, like I showed you guys, right? And that's kind of like our game. It's like going into tech, putting a bunch of the profits we're getting from client acquisition.io to play this game. Okay? And this is what I mean. You can only choose one thing. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be rich? Every single day I see entrepreneurs who want to be right more than they want to be rich. And guess what? They're still struggling to make it in business. They're selling to the wrong people, selling the wrong thing because they want to sell Facebook ad, while all these 15-year-old kids are making hundreds of thousands of dollars selling AI, right? I don't even care if the AI works or not. The market wants it. Give the market what the market wants. Make money. Free yourself up, right? And that's why I decided to do this webinar last minute during the holidays, right? I didn't even get to drink wine with family. I had to go home early to get sleep so I can build this webby, right? But for me, I want to stay away from scaling offers and companies that sell what the founder wants to sell instead of what the market wants. And that's why, like, I wanted to do this webby to make it clear for everyone out there, whoever wants to work with client acquisition.io, like, hey, if you're doing less than 50K per month, we're not going to launch anything that is not easy to win at, because we don't care to be right. We care to make you rich. Once you have money, then go play what you want to do. But if you don't have the freedom, the capital to do what you want to do, you don't have the luxury to do what you want to do. You can't chase your passion. Now is not the time to be passionate. You want to be passionate about being broke? What kind of passion is that? You want to go paint? Okay, let's say you like painting. You like painting, but then you're like, oh, I have to go pay food. Oh, food is Cost of everything is rising. No, go build a business. It doesn't have to be sexy. You don't even like your customers. Go get them what they want. Trade your specialty, your infrastructure, your systems for money. Raise the money. Do what you want to do. Be happier, right? You're gonna get happier when you make a little bit more money. It's not going happiness is not gonna be forever. But then once you start making a lot of money, then you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm tired of playing small games. Then we can start playing the stage 2 of the game. Okay? Does that make sense? And something that I always do on these webinars is remind you guys of something. Growth or intelligence comes from the same thing, the rate of learning and the rate of change. Today we did a lot of learning, but change of behavior is the only thing that creates an outcome, right? You could be making 20K per month today. You have knowledge now how to make 50K per month, but the execution is the thing that gets you to 100K per month. Even the fastest or highest compounding model can flop if poorly run, while a savvy agency operator can still build a sizable business. Knowledge alone isn't enough, regardless of how easy it may seem to launch this offer in the local business niche. Execution is the only variable that will dictate those who win from everything I've covered today, or simply have it be another Webby full of gems and nuggets that you end up forgetting. And that, by the way, kills me. The amount of Webbies I do, and one Webby is enough to kill it for you. You don't need to watch all my webinars, right? Every single one I do it because I have an insight that is genuinely valuable and is life-changing. Okay? Cool. So let's get into more stuff. By the way, guys, was your time today worthy? Was it worthy spending a little time? Was today's presentation worthy, guys? Was it good? Did you guys like it? I wasn't sure because it's holidays. People are like, should we do a Webby during the holidays? I was like, yeah, the world needs saving. Now is not the time to, we can take time off, right? Did you guys learn things that you didn't know before? Let me know in the chat. The recording will be dropped eventually in the group, right? Do you guys now understand the potential of targeting local businesses and selling an AI-enabled infrastructures? Let me know in the chat, guys. User 11 You should have put. Let me know. Do you now see how easy it can be to generate leads, appointments, and high-ticket clients if you just go after the right market and sell them the right, AKA something that is in demand? Do you now understand that your first business doesn't have to be something you're passionate about, and that you should focus on scaling your first offer past 25K to 50K per month as fast as possible so you can start playing the leverage game? Do you now understand the difference that the right vehicle and business model can have in someone's earning potential, even if they don't acquire more skills? Every single person that I showed you guys here, everyone that you guys look up to, eventually was struggling, even if they were smart. But changing the business model, the vehicle, changed everything. But you cannot play that game unless you acquire a first case study, right? Do you now understand the difference? Cool. Is it fair to say that using these insights that I covered today, it's unreasonable for everyone who's watching this not to have a significant edge over the competition who's being told to target super sophisticated markets? Like for me, when I see people being told like, go become a growth partner, go help scale offers, info products, I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know how hard it is to scale those offers? Right? If we parted ways right now and you were left on your own devices to go off and do this on your own, it would be a worthy ideal to pursue if that was your only option, but it isn't. There's a second option. I always give this option every Webby that I do. A second path where you can join client acquisition.io's growth creator incubator and have me and my team build and release everything needed to see results in 4 weeks. Right? Our goal is, if you guys have ever read this quote for Archimedes, It says, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. We want to be the lever and the fulcrum to help you move the world, right? In 2025, I've decided that I want to create our future partners instead of settling for the few companies that already make 30K to 50K per month that we can partner and scale with. And instead, I want to create our future clients. The idea here is we want to build and release an entire business and help you launch it in 4 weeks and spend another 8 weeks helping you optimize everything, every aspect of the business. Every offer we launch for our clients will be in markets that we believe have great potential based on the data that we have. Your only job is to scale it past 30 to 50K per month and simply partner with us so we can turn your 30K to 50K a month business into $100,000, $500,000 a month business. Case study. Okay? Who wants to learn more about this opportunity? Let me know in the chat if you guys want me to go over the offer. Talk to me. I'll talk to you if you talk back. All right, let's get into this. So here's how we do things. Here's how we serve our clients in our incubator. In 4 weeks, because by the way, we do things a little differently. We build, then we consult. It's not consulting first, is we have to build things first. So step one is we want to essentially build an entire 500K a year business infrastructure. The way we do that is we have to build your offer, right? Based on the different growth infrastructure sold in the different markets and niches we've launched offers in, and based on your background, by the way, it's not that we're going to throw you into any niche that you don't care about. If you have specific background, we're going to look at it, and based on what we're seeing work well, one-on-one on a call, we're going to map out every single thing, the variables, the mechanism needed to deliver in your offer, and something that you can charge 7.5K to 15K for. We anything below is good, but it starts eating up into the scalability of your business. And the reason why we need something that is expensive or that is premium is because with this money from one client, you can literally afford to build a business with just one client where you're not the biggest bottleneck to your business. Okay? So we're going to build that out. We're going to help you build your customer journey for your offer. Every single variable, we're going to help you map it out. Segment of the niche. Not all niche, not every single group of people in a specific niche are created equal. So different segments are more appealing than others. We'll come up with the pricing and conditional guarantee for your offer, making it unreasonable for your prospects not to feel confident investing in your solution, right? We'll help you build your process map, process selling via sell to sell prospects before they jump on a sales call, okay? And by the way, every step of the way is documented on ClickUp to keep you and ourselves accountable on getting things done on time. Every single thing that we do has a specific due date. It has a specific timeline. It has a specific time that it takes. And we go through this first full scope in 48 hours. This takes us 48 hours to get done. Forget about feeling lost in hundreds of hours of content or feeling overwhelmed. The only thing you have to worry about is the next task on the checklist. And we handle that for you, right? So we build out the offer that you can kind of like go in and actually start closing, okay? That's step number one. Step number two is we build your systems. I've already showed you guys the process, which is client acquisition systems integrator will request access to your CRM. If you don't have any, we'll give you our pre-built GHL snapshot, and we'll come in, set up all your systems. Update all the assets in the snapshot, sales call automations, update all the leads. And by the way, if you were to hire someone to do this for you, it's $5,000 a month. That's what I pay our systems integrators, okay? So you get an employee comes in, does the integration for you, right? So now you're going to have all the automations, triggers, everything locked in your business. At the end, you'll have all your sales systems tracking every lead, appointment, and deal, allowing you to start collecting data and having the possibility to have a sales team come in and manage leads for you. Systems are boring and take so much time to integrate, so you just give us access and we can cook for you. Timeline, This should take 2 to 3 days because it's not as easy as it looks, right? Not easy. It's easy. It just takes a lot of time, right? Step 3, once you have your offer, your systems, then we got to get you leads, right? How do we do that? To make 25K to 50K per month, you need at least 5 to 10 people per day wanting what you have to sell. And to get that many people wanting your solution, you need a lot of attention. The best way we know how to do that for our clients is to get them with paid ads. So we launch your warm-up ads, right? So these are some of the clients in our incubator that we're launching. While we warm up the ads, by the way, we're going to create your ad angles and your creatives, so you don't have to worry about that. We have an entire creative team and a media buying team to come in and put together your creatives. As you guys can see, these are all the projects that we're rolling off of. Okay, and if it doesn't matter, even if you're in the Spanish market, hablar un poquito español, a little, can speak a little Spanish. I can't, but my team can cook up whatever. So we're also launching offers on the Spanish market, by the way. I haven't been to Colombia, but I'd love to go to Colombia. I've been to Spain a lot of times. Anybody from Colombia right now? Let me know. Might be a nice place to go. At least the people we're launching this offer for are in Colombia right now. They're having the time of their life. And then lastly, we launch your ads, right? So you don't have to be a media buyer. We're not telling you to master ads. Could mastering ads be good? Should you do it? Will we encourage you to do it? Yes. But do we need you to be good at it to make money from paid ads? No. Why? Because the sooner you get an ROI, the sooner you're happy to have paid us a lot of money. So we like to eradicate the I don't need you to go learn Facebook ad. Let's just get you appointments. Okay? And that's how a lot of all these clients get leads and appointments so fast, right? Not everyone is a media buyer expert here, okay? They're all not, but they all have their all entire client acquisition from paid ads, right? And just so you guys kind of like see our back end, every single thing that we do is built. We've built an entire launch management system to keep everything running smoothly because I'm not going to lie, we do get a lot of clients, so it would be impossible to manage if we didn't have a great system to do it. Okay. And on top of that, you're essentially getting data from spending 80K, 90K a month on paid ads in the local market. So you get to leverage us by having us launch your ads. We're seeing what it looks like spending 100 grand in the local market, and we're just doing what works based on what works. But if you were to do it yourself, then you're starting from scratch and having to learn everything yourself. Timeline to do this should take us 1 week. I know most ad agencies takes them an entire month to get someone launched on ads, not even build systems, literally just get your ads running, give you the creatives, get you the ad campaign launched. It takes them an entire month. We do it in a week. Okay. Next thing is so that means that once you have this, by the way, you have the leads flowing and you have the appointments kind of like flowing from paid ads, right? But we need to generate your appointments and deals and a return on investment. So just because you have a lot of interest doesn't mean you can effortlessly generate sales calls or sales and money. So we put new mechanisms in place so that you can actually turn interest into money. How do we do that? Every single company we launch, we make it inevitable for leads not to be reached out to and set on a call in 5 minutes or less of entering their funnel. How do we do that? We implement scripts, systems, and trained setters. Okay? So you guys are going to get access to kind of like our entire playbook around all the scripts that we have. Okay? But you're also going to get a setter once you have leads coming through that's going to set up and reach out to your leads on your behalf so you don't have to be wasting your time figuring out stuff. Okay? So you have your offer, you have your systems, now you have your ads bringing you attention, now you have systems to set and a setter. Now what's left is you need to turn sales calls into money, right? It's imperative for every founder to have the right framework to sell, these growth infrastructures and high ticket offers, it's not the same as selling a retainer that costs $1,000 a month. So you need a specific workflow, you need a specific script, and that is what we're going to train you first on. Once you're trained, because you don't want to delegate sales calls right away, because once you're speaking with your ideal prospect, they will literally tell you what they want. And you, as the founder, as the product builder, as the business builder, you need to use the insights, the feedback that you're getting from the marketplace to actually improve your offer. So that's why we don't like to remove people from the sales calls, because you're literally, if we do that, could we do it? Could we give everyone a closer? Yeah. But would that be valuable? No, because it will literally keep you from knowing the truth and from knowing how to sustain success and how to give the market what the market wants. So instead, we're going to build your sales scripts. We're going to build everything. So you just go on the call, run through the script, and we're going to audit your sales calls, review everything, and then optimize, okay? And then get you to make your first win, right? Every single client who's kind of like here, all these sales close deals, most of them are closing themselves, right? And until you're doing like over 50K per month, you don't need to kind of like be removed from sales, right? Step 5, optimize the infrastructure. So these first 4 steps that I just walked you guys through took us 4 weeks. And then step 5 is, once we've built and released every variable needed to see success, we will spend the following 8 weeks optimizing every variable in your funnel, with the simple goal of making you money and doing it as consistently as possible. So this means, what does this look like? This looks like weekly data check-ins. Every single week, we're going to be checking in on your lead flow. Meaning, are you hitting their 50 to 100 plus leads per week? Why are you not hitting it? Cost per lead high? Do you need to maybe launch outreach and outbound prospecting because you don't want to keep spending money on ads? Okay, cool, perfect. Let's launch that initiative. Appointments. What's going on? Why are you not booking a minimum of 10 sales calls per week? Oh, you don't have a setter? Okay, cool. Let's get you one by the end of the week. Oh, your setter is not showing up and you haven't talked to him. Oh my God. Why aren't you managing your team? What's going on? Do you think like someone else is going to make you money? No, you need to have a daily huddle with your setter. Even if there's nothing to talk about, meet with them so they actually think that they're working for someone who's serious about their business. If you're not serious about your business, why would a setter be serious about your business before for yourself? They're not. So these weekly data check-ins, they help us keep you accountable, because a lot of people think, oh, just because we put together this whole entire thing and we built you an infrastructure that you're going to start making money. No, 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 no. You yourself, you're your worst enemy. Humans, founders, are the issue most of the time. The reason why I'm not making $1 million, $2 million a month is because of what? It's not because of the market. It's because of Serge, right? So if I had someone who can keep me accountable on the lead flow, on appointments and deal flow, and LTV to CAC ratio every single week, making $1 million is pretty easy. A month. We do the same thing. We treat you the same way. We keep you accountable every single week based on data. And then, of course, you have the daily sessions. We have group calls. Me, my content team, YouTube content is something that we're working on really well. Advertising, Casey, you guys are going to get to see him. I think he's not on the call today. Appointment setting, sales, operations. You guys are going to, get the weekly, daily cuddles with different topics on different things. And I also forgot, but also our AI, kind of like AI engineer team, kind of like also call happens every Friday. So we go over all these topics. If you have a question, jump on. Let's deal with problems. And then one thing that I want to start doing is monthly business breakdowns. Every month, we'll be dropping data and new insights on the protocols and systems that led us to generating the best case studies in the community. So every single month, the first one is going to be happening in January. We're actually going to be breaking down the fastest scaling offer that we've seen in the last quarter, right? So we're going to do that. What is the offer? What is the lead gen? What was the setting process? What is the team size? All that good stuff. 6 is community of growth creators. Come and meet other people who are building, right? You're not the only one who, which we're not going to make it out alive. So might as well live a good life while we're still here. So, and if you don't have a community of people around you building with you, forget about winning. It's just super lonely, right? So we like to do retreats. This was in Spain. We're about to do one in Cape Town really quick, which by the way I'm going to showcase shortly. But yeah, that's it. And then you also have. I realize that I don't talk too much about the content we have in the program, but we have over 50 hours of material to help you acquire all the skills that you do not have. So while we're building the systems and everything in your business, you should be upskilling yourself. You should be getting smarter. You should be getting good, right? And this looks something like, hey, how do you advertise? How do you do content? How do you own? How do you build funnels? How do you educate prospects? How do you change beliefs? How do you convert attention? How do you build systems? How do you do fulfillment, right? Sales enablement, AI content agent, all that good stuff. Okay, so this is the knowledge that you're going to need to study so you can become a better founder. And the cost, there are two costs to build and access this infrastructure. There is what I pay for it every month, and then there is what clients pay for it, right? This is 298K in monthly expenses. Okay, this is just the total cost of goods sold. We average around 250K in expenses monthly, and in just team cost, that's not before all the other costs to run the business, right? And that's what I call pay. So if you were to own the talent internally and the systems and all the good stuff that you get access to, you're probably going to spend $2 to $3 million a year, which I spend. Okay. How about I make this an even crazier deal? So if you're part of the first 5 movers on today's offer, here are some extra bonuses. You're going to get a one-on-one call with me, right? I only jump on calls with our partners, or if you want to get me on a consulting call, it's 5K, right? But once you've been onboarded, implemented your infrastructure, we'll jump on a call, right? The reason why I don't like to jump on a call before you build things is because I don't like to confuse my team, to confuse clients based on what the team is strategy. So I like to get on a call once the strategy is in place, the systems are in place, and you're actually getting some leads, and then we can actually talk about how to play bigger. Okay. And then a second bonus, which I decided to add last minute because we had 1 seat left, is 1 week in paradise with client acquisition team and partners. I'm genuinely excited for this retreat. It's not a retreat. We're actually going to be launching offers for our partners and doing webinars for them. But we thought we would invite 1 incubator member to join us. Our partners are paying $10,000, by the way, to join this retreat. So they are paying to join. And we're going to raffle 1 seat because there's only 1 seat left to the first 5 incubator clients who join. So out of the first 5 people who sign up, you guys are going to get one of you guys is going to win a retreat. So 1 out of 5 have the chance to come and spend a week with us in Cape Town. If you guys have never been to Cape Town, I like to call it a little paradise because it's just beautiful, right? You get to skip winter. I would love to show you guys what it looks like outside right now in Canada. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm going to post, but right now it's disgusting. So we're going to go here, spend a week from February 1st to the 8th. We're going to have some dinners, mastermind, workshops. There are so many entrepreneurs who are going to be there in February, so much so that properties that we normally used to pay $2,000 a night for are now going for $5,000 a night. And it's only like a 4-bedroom, right? So here we have like 7 bedrooms. So it's a pretty sick little villa that I'm excited. We can sit here, mastermind, and you guys can ask me whatever guys you want to ask me. Or I'm going to ask you what made you want to start working with us. Okay, but I can't wait. Okay. And then the next bonus is if you're part of the first 5 clients, this is important. I'm limiting it to only the first 5 clients, just generally because we cannot place closers infinitely for people for free. But if you join, if you're part of the first 5 people to sign up and you get to your first 12 sales calls, 20 sales calls per week, we'll place a highly trained closer and remove you from having to take your sales calls yourself. allowing you to be removed from completely from the sales process from end to end. You don't have to worry about setting. You don't have to worry about leads. You don't even have to worry about closing deals over the phone. Okay, so we have an entire library of closers that we're gonna be placing you with, right? Now, another big bottleneck and obstacle that a lot of you guys will face is if you're starting out or if you want to launch, you may not necessarily have anything on the operations side and the fulfillment. Okay, so we want to make it unreasonable for anyone getting started without the leverage and or the experience to not be able to deliver on the thing they sell. Therefore, we're going to be connecting you with our partners who already have a dialed in fulfillment that you can partner up with to help fulfill for your clients until you build your own fulfillment infrastructure. Okay? So, partners could be Ethan, it could be Ando, like that I brought you guys today, or other partners, because we have actually a lot more clients on the back end who are building AI softwares and AI solutions. So, you guys don't have to worry about fulfillment because not only are we going to pair you up with a partner who can help you guys fulfill, connect you guys, but we also have the actual fulfillment infrastructure, like the ClickUps, like I showed you guys, the same way that we help you guys, that we fulfill for you guys. You guys are going to be able to license our ClickUp project management, onboarding systems, every single thing that you guys get access to. Okay, so that will be solved, so you guys don't have to worry. And another thing is, last time I didn't talk about it too much, but we released the AI content agent, and you guys are still going to be able to license this for not just for yourselves. If you guys want to get on content and create viral content or valuable content, whether that be on YouTube or short form content, but you guys are going to be able to use it to fulfill for your clients. Okay, so every single thing that I showed you guys on the viral content aspect of things, you use this AI system to do that. So as an example, Temi has the experience. Temi did it without the AI that we built. But the reason why he ended up making sense of joining our program is because we had turned this into an automated process that he's going to be able to leverage to turn his process into something that is scalable. Because doing it for himself is good, but doing it as a business model for a lot of construction businesses isn't scalable until you leverage this AI. And you know the market loves also the AI stuff, so you're good, right? We also launched an AI offer, content offer, so we already have the ads, the email, the sales, VSL, the landing page on for anyone who wants to sell AI content agents. Once you clear your first 30K a month and beyond, we implement our growth creator funnel for you, right? To effortlessly scale past 100K per month, you need to acquire attention for free and become a creator. As much as we're running ads for you, we actually think the big money is made when you become into a creator, because you end up realizing that you can get sales calls that are worth 2.6K instead of just $100 per booked call that shows up, or a few $100. So our job is, how can we turn you into a creator, build you a YouTube channel, right? For those who watched the last Webby, we manage a lot of clients partners, a lot of our partners YouTube channels. This Juan is in ecom. We're killing it. Gervier is going after the restaurant niche, right? People will be like, oh, why would we launch YouTube channels for the restaurant niche? Well, because that's how you make a lot of money. This is a creator. We launched her channel. Megan, she's making like over 100K a month. She was doing it off of her low ticket stuff on Instagram. Scott, going after agencies. Nolan, Kareem, and also, you know, you're getting kind of like the same team that builds my channels to also build yours. But that's only if you've scaled, okay? And you also are going to get one-on-one channel, guys. So you guys don't feel like you're going to have each channel, private channel, you're going to have access to growth consultants, systems integrators, ad consultant, sales team, or whatever, right? You're going to have a team that you can help and that can help you solve every problem, right? And our guarantee is, if we implement the right offer, the right growth systems in your business, you leverage them consistently in order to meet the required inputs and standards that we've seen create the results for our other clients and partners, and you don't make back your initial investment in 90 days, we'll offer extended support and the option to request a refund, right? This means that the worst case scenario of you working with us is your current situation. Let me put this in green. We won't allow you to be in a worse situation than you're in currently, because we'll not only provide you with a better opportunity and infrastructure in your business, but we will avoid you the risk of losing by providing you with a safe exit. We're willing to take the risk because all we need to do to get you one client, to get you a return, because all we really need to do is get you one client to make back your investment, which I believe we're capable of doing in 12 weeks, right? All that it takes is, if you guys think about it, is, okay, cool, let's go find one win. What niche are you in? I can literally go in here and be like, okay, cool, let's go self-serve. Arjan, what niche? Boom. Cool. What market is he going after? Where did the appointments come from? Paid ads. Cool. Boom. Right? We can come in here and just pick and plug what niche you want to go after, and just pick a win. Right? So that's what I mean by, like, all we really need to do is get you one client and you're good to go. Right? And every single client that we've, I don't know if you guys saw the local wins, but all these clients are all in the local market selling these growth solutions. And it's just working infinitely better than any other niche that we've gone after in the past. Okay? And that's the idea. Nolan, 24 hours from launch, 9.5K cash collected, have 2 more potential, and he's going after, I forget what niche he's going after. Lawyers? Yeah, he's going after lawyers. $46 per booked call, 4 calls booked, first sale for 9K from ads, and a VSL, 18 hours launch. Try to make this kind of money targeting agencies or coaches. I'll wait. Try to make 9.5K, launch ads today, get $50 per booked call, get any of them to show up, and see if any of them even give you $2,000, right? So for us, we want you guys making the pivot. We're going to do everything we can to build everything. You just go pivot, make the money, then come back as a partner once you're making 30K, 50K per month, right? And that is our offer today. Cool. So let's get to work. You guys book a call. Let me know in the chat if you guys book calls. And then, all right. Cool. Let's get into who want to go with their questions. Raise your hand. I'll unmute you. Okay. And then we're good. Everyone raise your hand, and then, book your calls so that you guys are locked in. But Peter, you go ahead. Unmute yourself. You're good.
Thank you. Do you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So my question is, if I'm going into a new market or a new niche, or I'm transitioning over from somewhere else, how do I get my first case study? So, like whatever outreach I do, even if I do like cold email outreach or run ads, I should have a case study, right, in the new market. So how do I transition when I don't have any?
Well, there's only one way to do it, is you find someone who's already done it. Like for us, a lot of our clients use some level of someone else's case study, right? Like ads is probably already proven, so you don't, like, someone else has done it. You're not a first mover. So what niche? Give me an actual niche. Like what niche
Solar.
you want to go after? Okay, solar, cool, perfect. So you probably just need a media buyer who's done ads in solar, and you just need an AI dialer or an AI setter that can also work for solar, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, but it's not, you don't need it's not like I don't have a case that I can't do nothing. No, that's not true, right? If you're there are a bunch of communities of people out there who already have the case studies you want. It's just that you work with them so they can help you leverage it. Okay.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
User 32, thank you for booking a call. Appreciate you. Yeah, everybody, please lock in your seat and let's get to work. Ruben, you can unmute yourself, brother.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Wonderful. Yeah, the question I asked in the chat but didn't get answered was, let's say I'm trying to push a upfront fee plus rev share or net rev share to potential clients. In terms of the rev share, do I do it within kind of the implementation time frame, or do you think it's best to do it after the time frame? That makes sense.
Well, you do it once you've made them money. So it cannot be through implementation, because this is also one thing we do with our partners. With our partners, let's say Dylan worked with us when he was making 50K per month already, right? We tell him, hey, your baseline is 50K per month. So anything that is above that, we take a percentage on, but we do not take what you were already able to make without our help. And this is the thing that happens with a lot of delusional partners, growth partners, is that they think that everything the client makes should be for them. That's not true. The businesses, especially if it's already an established business, you have to realize that they're already good without you, right? So you have to deserve the success, and you only deserve the success if you add on top of what they were already able to make. You cannot take, you're essentially, so you would literally be stealing from people if you take a percentage before you get them results. Hey, Emmanuel, please go ahead.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Just a quick question. Obviously, I'm from the. Wait, 1 second. Sorry. 1 second. Sorry, I'm just typing into. Hi, can you everyone hear me?
Yeah, you're good. I can hear you. You're good.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, hi. So, um, I'm new to this. But I currently do property, so I'm in the real estate business at the moment. So I'm currently
Okay.
from the UK, and I do Airbnb sourcing. I have a few Airbnbs myself. I was
Love it.
potentially thinking, could that potentially be a niche for what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Actually,
What? I mean, I know people. I mean, okay, so here, well, how much money are you making with it?
so sourcing properties, I normally charge a 3K sourcing fee if I find someone an Airbnb that fits their criteria.
Yeah.
And I also have like two Airbnbs myself that make me around 1,500 a month, possibly.
Okay.
And I was just thinking
Yeah.
potentially using AI, the infrastructure to because I'm in the field where I know a lot of people that do the same thing that I do, so I could
Yeah.
potentially find them more quality leads of people that may need Airbnb properties potentially. So I was just
Yeah.
thinking, I'd have the idea in my head, but I just need the application to actually. Do you understand what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
100%. I think you have to understand that you have a pretty great opportunity, which is right now you're still kind of like in stage one, which is even if you can source great Airbnbs, you're a solopreneur, you're working, you're grinding. So what you need is do it in a leveraged way. One,
Okay.
you need to sell for more or figure out a better market to sell that same thing to, right? Then you need to go into selling it for more money. Then you need to use ads. You actually need a client acquisition in place system, so you don't have to, be getting one client every other month. You actually, hey, every week can you get 5, 10 calls with people who want to pay you 3K, sell
Uh-huh.
2, 3 of them, make 6 to 9K a week, right?
Yeah.
Then what you will realize is once you've done this enough, you can actually go into a different business model, which is you build short-term rental portfolios for investors,
Mm.
right?
I probably
But
do that
for
at the
that,
moment.
okay, cool.
I,
But like you need to, but you need to not just source the deal.
mm,
Sourcing a deal is worth 3K. Cool, whatever.
yeah.
It's kind of like everybody can do it, right? And it's actually not worth 3K. It is
Yeah.
literally worth $20 a lead. If they got on ads and paid $20, they could probably get someone who wants to rent out their place on their thing. So you need to sell it. I know people right now who are selling real estate investment opportunities for $40,000, but you're selling it for 30K, and you're already doing majority of what they do, which is just deal sourcing. deal sourcing is 80% of the work in real estate,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, but you can't do what they do because not only do they source the deal, they take care of setting it all up. So you need a team that will go buy the furniture, positioning, putting it
Yeah.
together,
Furnishing the
posting it
property.
on Airbnb.
Yeah.
Uh,
Managing it
right?
basically for them. Yeah.
You're also doing it for them.
No. Normally, because obviously I have two myself at the moment. So obviously I manage those. So, but obviously there is an option. I do know management companies that could potentially
Yeah.
do that for them. So I know someone that finds someone a deal. They just put like, for example, in the UK here. I don't know if
Mhm.
a lot of you are from the UK. I mean, if you from the US and Canada, but in the UK here, a lot of I don't know if it's different there, but there's a lot of
Mhm.
some companies here. They charge like 9,000 for them to find an Airbnb property for you, and that includes all the furnishing, etc. And just get like a monthly figure of like £800 monthly on return. So that could be a
Yeah.
3 year lease, for example, and you
Yeah.
put on 9 grand, and then you basically make like 4 times that money basically over
Yeah.
3 4 years.
Yeah. 100%. People, that's, but you need a team to be able to pull that off,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
can't do it with right now, which is why step one, pick a better market, make more money per client, then build a team under you, then go sell bigger promises, bigger transformations, uh,
okay.
other than let me get you a lead or yeah, cool.
All right, thank
Um,
you. Yes,
yeah, appreciate you.
thank you, bro.
Hey, Tukula, you're next. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. What's up, man? Yo, you from Rwanda?
Yeah, of course. Come on.
Nice. I'm from Namibia, man. It's just next to South Africa. I know you guys go to Cape Town a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
Namibia is just northwest. So I have two questions. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is I'm gonna share the questions first so I don't forget. Is
Yeah.
Spotify for free content versus YouTube for free content to our market? And the
Uh-huh.
second question is put it in the chat 1 second. Is creating my own study via my own production.
What do you mean by free content Spotify versus YouTube?
So I know how you guide us to create our own content, or personal brand on YouTube.
Yeah.
But also I see from you yourself, you spend some time on Spotify yourself as well,
Correct.
right? So what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on rather spending
Uh,
time creating on Spotify?
I think you know what you mean. Do you mean podcast?
No, just the same way we build a personal brand on YouTube or the way you are guiding us
Oh, like you do?
to do
Yeah.
that on Spotify instead.
I think a lot of people do Spotify if it's in business and personal and education content is most likely going to be podcast. I
Mhm.
don't think people have yet the behavior to go on Spotify to consume content like they do on YouTube. So I
Mm.
would always bet YouTube because also the engine, the research and the recommendation engine that YouTube has built is the best than any platform that has ever been built online. Like YouTube is the number one education platform. Like I know all these guys in the info space are creating school, then they're creating educate, then they're creating the Kajabis and the blah blah blah. But it's like YouTube alone is probably better at educating and creating the behaviors that you want in your prospects and your clients than any other platform. That's why a lot of the times you
Mm.
guys see me releasing these webinars for free on YouTube when even if you guys paid, the reason is because I'm sure that I will get more people who paid to consume it on YouTube than they will consume it on Circle. Why? Because
Behavior.
behavior,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah,
Literally,
makes
I
sense.
literally give up on money because I would rather just get people where they are already at than try to force people. So that would do. But yeah, what was your second question?
Yeah, the second one is creating my own case study. So basically, a niche I'm in, I've been thinking of rather going out and produce instead of getting results for a specific business
Yeah.
to actually go and build that myself first
Yeah.
because I can control everything right now. I don't know if that would be a smart play or not.
I think that's good. Depends on Okay, so it depends on, one thing I've kept saying is, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? So keep that in mind, meaning what is actually the thing that's going to make you money the fastest? Is it serving yourself or is it serving someone else? Someone
Now,
else
if
who wants what you have, someone who wants what you have to sell and will pay you for it, or do you want to serve yourself and go sell a scale that maybe you already have, but is the thing that you would want to sell yourself the thing that is in demand in the market, or like vice versa? So what would you want to sell specifically?
the exact thing that I'm doing.
What is it?
So, say for instance, I'm in solar, for example. Say
Okay.
for example, I'm a sales rep myself,
Yeah.
and I built this entire system for myself to acquire leads, get deals, the whole A to Z
Yeah.
content, A to Z, and then going to license that to solar companies. Is it worth my time to iron out the system for myself, or just start going straight into
Yeah, okay.
businesses and getting the case studies from the business?
That's okay. If you wanna front the cost, yeah. The beauty of selling it to other people is that they pay for the cost to acquire data, right? Like everyone here who's gonna join the program, we don't actually force them to have their own case study before we actually launch it. We acquired case studies on the dime of our clients. So that's
Mm,
really means that if you try to do it yourself right now, yeah, you could go get a lead, a homeowner who's wanting to get on solar, and it will
mhm,
probably cost you 10, 20 to $30 per qualified lead. You're probably going to need to spend maybe 10 leads to get one appointment. So that's going to cost you 20, 200, $300. And then when you spend that money, then you're going to probably need 3 to 5 that amount to actually get enough of them to show up. So now you're
mhm,
$500 deep. And that's
mhm,
not even a closed deal, right?
mhm,
But if you flip it and do those same actions for someone else, they will be happy to get the leads. They'll be happy to get the appointments. And if you can, they're going to keep spending because they're already getting wins on their
mhm,
way there. And they're
mhm,
like, hey, it's working. So let's keep spending money on ads. And you're
mhm,
learning as you do it. And the second thing I always tell people is
mhm.
you don't actually get a good case study until you have 30 plus clients. Your
Wow.
system will your system will never get good until you've done it enough times where it's inevitable not to be good. As an example, a lot of the time, the reason why we collect data is because we want to show people that when you work with clientacquisition.io, yeah, cool. Do we know how to run ads? Do we know how to do this? Yeah, but everybody got those skill sets, right? It's not
Mhm,
like something magical. But what's different is we collect data on what works. That means that when you're buying, you're not buying the process. You're buying a process that is backed by data on the success that you want. A lot of
mhm,
people just sell process, 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 process. Like here's
mhm,
learn how to do ads, learn how to do systems, learn how to build AI. But it's like that's a process. It doesn't actually make you money.
mhm.
So you need to get big to inevitably get good. So get clients, get them to pay you, become good at sales, and because there are a lot of people doing it anyway, so it's not like you're the first one to do it. And then
Mhm,
get enough reps where you're like, oh, this client is winning, this one is not winning, this one is not winning, but this one is winning, so let's do what this guy is doing to every single person. And then you
mhm,
repeat, boom, boom. And then after many iterations, you're gonna be so good that like when you get on sales calls or when you have a team, people are like, yo, I saw what the data you guys have, and here's the money. I don't even want to argue.
mhm.
All right, cool, perfect.
Sounds
Okay,
good. Good
Alex,
looks.
thank you, Takula. Appreciate you, man. Hey, Alex, you're next.
What's up, Serge? I just have a few questions. First one is, who do you think is the perfect avatar for this program? Like, what type of entrepreneur gets the best results?
For which mechanism?
What do you mean by that?
Like for which service?
Oh, just building and releasing infrastructures
But that's
for,
that's too general, bro.
oh, so like what I'm doing specifically?
Yeah, infrastructure is for what? What is the infrastructure for, right? Like infrastructure is really big, too big.
Well, what I'm doing right now is branding and lead gen
For who?
contractors.
And your question is who gets the best results?
Yeah, in your program.
Well, anybody going after local.
No, I'm saying like, do the people with a certain degree of experience or
I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, you're if you know nothing, you're not going to see results as someone who's already good at closing, right?
Gotcha.
But okay, so from that said, like, who sees the best results? Um, Someone who lets us build their offer, someone who lets us run ads for them, someone who lets us um, generate appointments, someone who lets us book, put a setter in it, someone who lets us um, build the systems, and someone who shows up for every single call around a specific topic that they're not good at. Because one thing you will realize is that success, as much as when you guys see what we do, you're like, oh my God, it's so crazy that if I pay Serge, like it's inevitable for me not to see success. But what you guys have to understand is that at the end of the day, you're the founder. You create the success. So if you think that paying money, and I know, it's actually going against, it would probably be better sales pitch if I told you guys like, hey, you just pay us and then you see results. That does not work, right? That would literally be lying to you guys because I know how hard I had to work in the last 3 or 4 years to get to the position that I'm in. And sometimes I have to be reminded that not everybody has the conditions to do what I've been able to do, right? So I always like to remind clients that like you have to create space to be good. You are going to have to learn. You're going to have to be disciplined. But at least you know that most people won't do that. So by doing just 10% more, by jumping on a call with Casey, who's been launching ads from software industries to local businesses, who's also been working in a software company himself, or like um, whatever I forgot, or Haisam, who's built a lead gen agency, or myself, or my calls, or calls with Gilles, who's worked in a multiple nine-figure company, or Alberto, who's working on who's handling our systems, or Reg, who's ran our entire VA operations or our backend operations, or our finance calls, where like if you jump on those calls, it's pretty likely for you to win. But if you do not, and you never learn more other than the things you do, then it might be a little longer for you to win. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. It is. We can make it easy, but I wouldn't say that the person who wins is the person who wants it more.
Gotcha. And just using that as a segue, what's like the success rate of your program?
Well,
Do you track
how
that?
do you want to
Like,
define how,
I guess the amount of people that after the 90 days get the positive ROI, or maybe the percent of people that ask for a refund.
we
I don't
don't
know.
we don't have that type of percentage because we realize that like some people it may take them longer to hit their first, let's say, uh 25K a month. They might do it in 5 months, they might do it in 6 months. But then would I consider that? I was actually telling this to my operator because he was like, "Hey, we should try to get everybody to hit X amount by this date." But I'm like, "Yeah, but like business is such a tricky thing that success isn't in 90 days. Success may take you 6 months. So if we track our success rate on 90 days, and by the way, for our program, it's like if in 90 days you haven't hit your return, we're still working with you. It's not like we just kick you out. We don't kick you out, right? But we don't track success rate based on 90 days timeline. Because now, if you told me what is the success rate to get appointments, to even get closed deals, some people do it in 2 weeks. Some people do it in 3 weeks. But am I going to tell you that to you? No. Because are you the person who gets that type of results? No. So Alex, I would ask you, what's your level of skill? Do you have Have you closed a deal before in your life? Have you set
Yeah.
an appointment before?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what would you need to make $10,000 from working with us? What would you
Just
need for us to
consistently
do for
flow.
you? Okay, cool. Perfect. So we can launch ads by Friday and get you the leads. And we can set up the systems to nurture them. If we got you appointments, would you make money?
100%.
Okay, cool. Then your success rate would probably be like 4 weeks. But if you don't have the confidence because you don't have the skill, then would I tell you that we can help you win because it might take you 4 months? You know? So it's
I see.
case
So,
by case. That's what I mean.
right. And then just one last question. What would be kind of your entry strategy when you're selling these infrastructures? Because I think it can be really overwhelming if you start explaining all the features that these systems do for them. So in
We
the
don't
ads or
actually we don't do none of that. We literally go lead with uh
outcome.
we don't sell everything because we're really the only thing the local markets need is quality of leads and they don't want people to show up on calls, or first of all they also want people to show up on calls, and they also don't want people to just be tire kickers. So in the ads we're calling that out and we're just saying, hey, we have an AI system that solves everything. That's how Temi is booking $20 cost per booked call. I would love to show you guys the ad that we're running for him, but I won't because that's his proprietary stuff, right? Like as much as I'm sharing a lot of the things that's working for our clients, I'm not going to be handing you guys to hundreds of people like the ads, you know? But
Right.
yeah, that's what I would do. Cool. All right, guys, let's go through the questions. I gotta.
Okay, thank you, Serge.
Appreciate you, Alex. Hey, Ruben, let's go.
Yeah. In terms of the local market, the local market ranges, especially for home services,
Yep.
like the average kind of charge price for their customers. So, for example, like an electrician, an average client might pay them, I don't know, 200 for a service, whereas someone that installs or does patios might do, a 5K, 6K job. Have you seen kind of a range in terms of the success for like AI services and growth in general from those kind of different businesses? Because like, for example, electricians or plumbers, they have a lot of what do you call it, like emergency services or kind of people that need things quick that don't really require nurturing, for example. If that makes sense.
Uh, our growth consulting team recommends the niches based on the ones that we know we can deliver the most value for.
Okay. So have you seen, is anyone in like the plumbing or electrician niche?
Um, on top of my head, I don't think we have people targeting electricians right now. No.
I was wondering whether, because I was in the electrician niche, but I was wondering whether to pivot towards maybe um jobs that have a higher kind of value, for
Why are you
example.
wondering though, brother? Intelligence,
Because
learn, change behavior. You already have the knowledge. Why are you doubting yourself?
I don't know, it's just, I guess, just getting the information. I
Because
need
what? Are you
information
already making
data.
money with? But are you already making money with electricians or plumbers?
Yeah, I was making money, but then
But
the
then
clients
you're not
churned,
making. Are you
and
making money? No. Are
right
you making
as of
money
right
with them?
now, no.
Okay,
As of
cool.
right now, no.
There we go. You have nothing to lose. Go into another one. You know.
Uh,
What about blockchain niche? Blockchain ain't local. That's crazy. No, don't go blockchain, please. Unless you're launching Haktua coin. Maybe she could make money for with her, but that's it. Hey Duno, what's up? You can unmute yourself. Uh, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Yeah, so I already have like a lot of case studies already, and in a lot of different niches, right? So brick and mortar, even like my largest one is we helped them get a $1 million contract from YouTube. And I'm wondering how and it's a general contractor, so they like reface and help brick and mortar businesses franchise, right? I'm wondering how we duplicate that to other general contractors. Because my biggest issue right now, we're getting leads from ads, but it's like a lot of follow-up, right? Like even if we hit them up, it's still like we got to follow up with them multiple times, right? So I'm wondering if the issue could be the way we're presenting the offer. And because some of them think it's just lead gen, even though it's not really lead gen. Like we've built the system for them already, which is why they were able to get that result. But it took us 6 months of working with them for them to get that result. So I'm trying to understand, do I keep going after more general contractors of that size, or do I just go for the
I
smaller
don't
ones?
think
And they're,
I don't think
yeah.
I mean, I think it's important to understand that it's probably the offer, because even with Temi, who was going after construction and development companies, the first sales calls that he jumped on, he was like, people were super resisting, even though he was talking about AI. But so what we decided to do is he restructured the ad to showcase the process of the thing and the fact that it eradicates every single bottleneck. So he didn't say, we'll get you appointments. He said, this thing did this, 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 and we're now ready to implement it into other similar companies. If you would like this implemented into your business, click the link and book a call. It took the cost per call from $150 to $20 per booked call, and the show up rate and the expectations that those two people who came from the $150 cost per booked call ad or the $20 one, they all had different expectations. They all came in. One came in with like, "Yo, I saw this. This is fucking sick. I would love really to have this." Versus, "Oh, please prove to me that you are gonna get me leads and that they're gonna show up and that they're gonna be this." Okay, but what if it doesn't work or is what blah 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 blah? You know. So
Yeah,
yeah. Does
because
that
that
make sense?
was and yeah, it does. And because that was a big issue too, especially with some of them, they were like, "Oh, I thought this was a lead gen service." you know? So yeah,
Exactly.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
your ad is probably not good. That's just
Yeah.
it. And of course, now you just said something which is it took 6 months. Maybe you might also need to improve the actual mechanism itself, right? So to see how you can get them faster results. But I would say that having a better offer on the front end is going to do most of the work. So you don't have to worry about that.
I got you. And
Yeah.
obviously now, yeah, like I understand how to speed it up, but like it took a process for us to optimize um that first client, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good. Cool. Uh, hey, Alan, I just unmuted you, brother.
Hello. Good to see you again, man.
How you doing?
But yeah, I had a quick question
Mm-hmm.
because I'm pretty interested in the program that you guys have. I've been watching all the webinars, all the content. Really good stuff. One question I have is I'm thinking I want to join and I want to get all the systems that you guys have, but I actually want to work for a client for free just to
Okay.
test the
The thing.
fulfillment, get the result, get the case study, just do that, just do it
Yeah.
the slow way. Is there need to do that though? Can I just charge for it anyway? Or what would you
So
recommend? I'm just thinking of just doing that.
I'm gonna tell you this. When you're starting a new offer, even when you get paid, you're still testing shit out. So you're never actually going to have the perfect process, the perfect solution until you have acquired clients. So that's why for me, I think it's the wrong mindset to think that let's get one client and fulfill well and then scale. It's actually not scale, but it's scale in the sense of like get a few more clients and then test it on 5 different companies. Most of them won't work, but some will. When some will does, you take that learning and then you apply it to everything. And by the way, it may be the same system, it may be the same funnel, but you end up realizing that, oh shit, these guys are targeting, like as an example, this example of Temi. If we didn't have Temi drop a cost from $150 to $20, we would assume that $150 cost per book told is decent in this niche. But because we saw that he achieved it and we now know the framework of the ad structure that does this, then we can take this insight and go apply it to every client. Same thing for you. I would say acquire 5 clients minimum, then fulfill. Then you'll see better success than others. And I want you to take that success and apply it to all the 5 businesses that you're working with.
That makes
That's-
sense. I'm
that's-
literally overthinking it. Just I can just charge like a cheaper price, just cover my expenses, whatever. You know, I can just do that. It's not
Exactly.
that
You
deep.
could literally do 50% now, 50% when we get your results. That 50% covers for acquisition and fulfillment. And then you let them cook. And then from there, you
But like I say, look, here's the process, here's the systems, here's everything, here's what we're gonna do. Conviction, conviction, conviction.
That's it. That's
Get
it.
the
That's
sell.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Easy. Another question I had.
Yeah.
I was interested because I sold to lawyers before. I used to work for an agency and I sold to lawyers before. So that's the niche I was thinking of going into just because I know it. I know how I know how they think. I know how they have money. I know how they work. So I was thinking them. What I don't know if you can share this on the call, but what is it that Alex does? Because I'm just curious. Is it ads?
Content setting. It's content and appointments. Nobody's just booking appointments anymore. It's content and ads to book appointments. It's literally just appointment funnel, but also a little bit of content. Like these guys are starting to buy because for 15K, a lawyer's not going to give you 15K to just book leads, right? That's a lot of money, right?
No.
So he's doing content.
Oh, is it the AI content stuff, or is he just content?
No, he's content in general too, like just some short form content stuff. Because they're now starting to realize like it's getting in demand. Like, because especially if you look at the real estate market, like the realtors that are making most of the money all have a presence on short form, right? And then he's helping them with more content online, right? But you could use the AI content the AI content system to find the topics and the viral content and the packaging and everything like that. So you facilitate that so you don't have to get the client to literally come up with content. So use AI to ideate, find viral hooks, then the lawyer just does his thing, right?
Yeah, because I know from experience, like SEO is the best, but it's very competitive. Then it goes ads, but like, so I'm thinking that what Alex does it actually get them results? Are you seeing that as well? Like what he's doing, get them results or not? Or maybe it's better question.
Well, I mean, for sure. Is it what beauty of the people paying you 15K? They're not dying to get results. Like they're not paying for a legion service. They're paying almost for like a premium experience. So the expectations aren't make me money today or refund me. It's more so, hey, build this system in my business. I would love it. I would love to have content. I would love to have leads. I would have nurtured, right? I would love to have setters or people following up or an AI dialer, right? So you're selling, you're selling results, but you're selling an infrastructure, meaning because the traditional reason why most agencies struggle is because they don't actually leave any asset in the business that they help. They keep it within. They own the systems to book calls. They're doing done for you everything. So when they leave with it. Instead, we're saying, hey, we're building and releasing an asset, and then we're helping you manage it and optimize it post implementation. But even when we were to leave, you still have an asset in your business, and that's where the pitch of 15K makes more sense compared to. By the way, like this is actually an interesting one because as I was doing research for this Webby, I ended up also going auditing some VSLs for other clients. And there's this client, he's in the dentist. He's literally going to dentist and he's like, hey, you have 2 options. do it yourself or get an agency. He's saying both don't work. Don't do it yourself. You don't have time. You're having to run a business, but done for you also. You've already paid a bunch of agencies, so you're still struggling because they only care to do enough for you, but where they don't lose their margins. So the local market is starting to actually caught up to this idea of done for you. Do you know how most people in the online space is like, yo, oh, I don't just want to buy a coaching program. Now it's the other way in the local market. It's like everybody's saying done for you, but you still don't get me results. So instead, the messaging we're going into the local market is, let's bridge the gap. Let's give you something that you own, and then we'll just help you optimize it. And that message and middle ground of do it done with you is, he's charging 7.5K. He's Haynes. I'll show you guys.
Wow.
He's selling.
Interesting you say that, man, because I remember once I was speaking to business about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And they were doing like millions a month. And what they were doing is like a mixture of done with you, done for you, but for e-commerce, because e-commerce businesses are all getting burned by agencies. And they didn't want to do it themselves. So it was like a middle ground. He's absolutely smashing it.
Exactly. So like this is exactly what they're saying. We're not selling done for you. Like and that's why I still tell people, like, even if it's your first offer, you're gonna do most of it done for you, but like it has to be positioned as a build and release, not a done for you. Because if you do position as done for you, one, the expectations on the client is so messed up that you never get them results because they're not doing anything. They think that they're expecting you to do everything. Right? I'm gonna try to show you guys the visual.
And you get put in that bucket as well, the just agency bucket, the commoditized bucket.
Yeah.
And I like the example used earlier of the $150 call, the $20 call. Like the $20 guys actually came on and they're just not a lot nicer. Like what you just said there with 15K, it just seems like a nicer sell. It's like, look, it's nice to have. It's a nice thing that I think you'll really love. Here it is.
Yeah.
You want it, yes or no? Here it is.
And it's the same thing. I'm not saying that you're gonna be doing more work than an agency that gets paid 2K a month. I'm not saying that. It's literally the same thing. It might even be easier. But the positioning of it, the framing, I mean, you've sold, you know what positioning does to things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the frame. The frame is a lot nicer.
The frame changes everything. Because I mean, literally, that's what I was saying like earlier when I spent time showing you guys that like the business model is the same thing as business models, right? The model you decide to run dictates your success. Now, because what you're doing is different. Like when Hormozy was running a gym, it's the same shit that he was doing as he was doing at gym launch, but he still wasn't successful until he started framing, until he started delivering, let's say in a more leveraged way, but also he would have never charged $16,000 if he actually went to these gym owners and said, I'm going to get you leads and appointments. But what he does is the same thing, but it's just that he frames it as like, hey, end to end, license everything, and you never have to pay us anything else in the future. Boom. Right? Cool. All right, let's go through the questions. But yeah, Alan, let me know whenever you're ready to cook. We got work to do.
I'll book him with Joseph for Tuesday. So
sick, love it. Cool. Speak to you soon, brother. Hey Maya, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing okay. So I know that this whole call you've been talking about local businesses, and so I'm gonna pivot a little bit with my question here. I have experience as a freelance videographer and content strategist for different clothing brands and music artists. And so I recently started learning about digital marketing from the perspective of just, building up a brand and taking that on kind of in like the social media management space. And then I came across your content and I was just wondering if you thought that, there was a way to integrate AI into a business functioning in that way, where instead of being focused on the local business niches, I could stick with fashion and music.
then comes back to the right thing, right? The thing, do you want to do what you want, or do you want to be rich?
Yeah.
Now,
Thinking you're
is
done.
there
Yeah.
right? Like, is there room to do it? Yes, there is, right? But the
Mhm.
problem is, fashion industry, music, they're not making money like that.
Mhm.
So therefore, because they don't make money like that, then you're not gonna make money like that, because they're gonna have to fight them to get a dollar out of them. Then they're not gonna see the value. But the reason why we go after local is because they already have businesses, and
Mhm.
we're not trying to make them money. They already have the money. We're just trying to 10x what they make, and then it just changes the game for us, because if it's a lot easier to uh it's like a lot easier to take the elevator than it is to go up the stairs.
Mhm.
You want to go take an elevator, or you want to take the stairs, right? It's
Okay.
But both, like, could I get into fashion and music and artists and sell them stuff? Yeah, of course I can. But like, would it be the fastest path to making good, decent income,
Mhm.
to verse on and proportional to the effort?
Mhm.
Probably not.
Okay.
Not
And then the
probably
second,
not.
I have another question. Do I have to like be I saw like later down in the incubator, you
Yeah,
said that you want to position people to be like YouTube creators.
yeah,
I would like to be a YouTube creator, but not necessarily like in a guru or educational type
yeah,
of
yeah.
way.
No,
So,
you don't have to. You can be yourself. I do my thing. I'm not a guru. I do my thing. I do my Chris Brown stuff. So I don't. I'm
okay,
not. I'm not 100% education guru, Hormozy, cap rates and the discounted future cash flow. No, fuck that. I make my
yeah,
money doing business, but so I can be myself and do content how I want to do. So it's important.
okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Hey, Az, how you doing? Can you unmute yourself? You're good to go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. So question, just want to pivot back to the legal field, just for me, because from my perspective, especially going into that field personally,
Yeah.
going to be a lawyer, I kind of think about how that like perspective would be,
Content. Yeah.
what
Mhm.
pain points would I have? So aside from like client acquisition, because there's a big gap between people that are looking for attorneys and people who are actually retaining them. So
Yeah.
aside from the client acquisition part, is that really the only thing or main thing that you think lawyers are really looking for? Is ways to
Uh,
acquire the clients?
I mean, no, that's where it becomes important, which is it when you get into the game of actually let's say you're actually the professional or the person running the local business. You end up learning more gaps that needs to be bridged than just a simple marketer. And that's why most marketers who try to sell to gyms would never make the kind of money that Hormozy made selling to gyms, because he himself was the avatar that he was selling to. So same thing for you. If you end up in the law vertical niche because you work in it as your profession, but you also acquire the skills of marketing, what ends up happening is you become a threat, because not only do you understand the marketing side of things and the growth acquisition side of things, but you also understand the legal game and the structure and how you build teams and the different layers and the different business models within law itself, right?
Mhm.
You package that up together, and that becomes a grand slam, because you can now go to other lawyers or law firms and literally say, hey, I understand you, but I also understand marketing.
Mhm.
And that's where you start charging. So your value to the market goes from like what everybody else charges to like 10x.
Is there specific specialties or areas of law that you're seeing success in as far as like personal injury or consumer law or because I know some
Personal,
things are like, especially with lawyers, is
yeah.
like, you got a lot of people out there that maybe don't have enough money that need some type of representation. So obviously those people are out because lawyers are going to be
Mhm.
lowballing and trying to just get the client. Um, so
Personal,
just
personal injury and family law
mhm,
firms.
family law.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Serge.
Appreciate you.
Mhm.
All right, guys. All good. So everyone who's booked a call, everyone who's signed up, appreciate you, everyone. We have until again January 31st is the last day. So if you guys jump in a call, cool, good work, and let's spend the whole month of January building. Okay. So for everyone who signed up, we're going to be onboarding those who signed up before the 31st tomorrow, or the team is still taking time off on the 31st and the 1st, okay? Because we're still humans. We need a break. I make them work during the holidays. It's my fault. I probably have a bad culture, but we gotta cook. And then but the whole build out starts after this upcoming week. Okay, so I think it will be like the 4th or the 5th or the 6th. That's when the whole build out will start. Until then, you guys can spend the last few days off time with your family, because in 2025 we get to building. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for spending the last few hours with me. Merry Christmas. Hope this was a good, nice Christmas gift, but I'm ready for a little time off. I'm cooked. I'm burnt out. But love y'all. Bye bye. Recording will be shared. But yeah, guys, thank you for spending the last few days of the year with me. Appreciate y'all. Bye bye.